Yo, what's going on, man? It's your host. It's your boy. It's Rap Star Boxing Knowledge in the motherfucking building, man. Smash that like button, do all that great stuff, you know what I mean? Yo, man, what fight? Fight weekend. We had all the fights today, man. Kalen Plant knocks out DIRREL. Kalen Plant knocks out DIRREL. You know what I'm saying? That was a toe-to-toe fight. And listen, we're going to talk about Kalen Plant's knockout. Yeah? Devin Haney goes life and death. Devin Haney tries his hardest, does everything he can, but still never gets the knockout. George Kambosos comes back in the later round still. We're going to talk about that fight. But smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. But yo, man, we're going to start with the fight that just ended. Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber. Yes, man. Deontay Wilder, the fucking bronze bomber, mate. And did you see the punch? I mean, what the fuck was HELENIUS doing? What the fuck was HELENIUS doing running into the bronze bomber? Hey, look, man, big respect to Deontay Wilder. The bronze bomber is back. But was that a fix? Was that a fucking fix? Or was that Deontay Wilder's back? Look, man, how the fuck are you charging Deontay Wilder? I mean, big respect to Deontay Wilder, man, with a right punch. Bam. But what the fuck is this man doing? Yo, Halim in the building. Steven, mate. Hayes. Real Boxing TV said this was a scrub fight. Not impressed. He beat a C-level fighter. Big deal. I'm no fanboy. Yo, Valley Boy Mix. Let's keep it real though, bro. What the fuck was the game plan of Robert HELENIUS? Smash the fucking like button. What was the game plan? You know what I mean? Somebody tell me, has anybody ever charged Deontay Wilder? Yo, for fuck's sake, man. Stupid motherfucking screen. Man. Yo, are you guys blind? Or guys, can you see what happened? You're gonna, unless someone wants to come here and chop it up. Or just shut it down, mate. What can we do? Ladies and gentlemen, man, Deontay Wilder came back. I was all excited. I wanted to see a fight. But this man charged Deontay Wilder and came straight for the right punch. What the fuck was Robert HELENIUS' game plan, bro? What the fuck was Robert HELENIUS doing in the fucking ring in the first place? Hey, big respect to Deontay Wilder. But that shit did look suspicious. A little bit suspicious. Yes. What do you think, Max, my brother?
Yeah, nah, man. That was a scrub fight. I was not impressed. I actually started laughing, man. For the people that think that Wild, like he made it seem like he was fighting someone in league. You know what I mean? And even after the win, he was kind of like, "Oh, he's back." Listen, he's not beating a Usyk. Usyk would never have his chin up in the air like that. But I am happy about the fight with Darrell and Plant. I thought that was a great fight, but we're on this one. But that's my point. That's where I stand on that. I feel like Punch is driving, so that might be Punch in the panel too. So
speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, really.
Yeah,
speak it, believe it, and receive it, y'all. One of the best heavyweights in the history of the sport of boxing. One of the most powerful right hand in the history of boxing. Probably the most powerful right hand in the history of the sport of boxing. It was a great chopping right hand, whatever you want to call the right hand, and what it was. It landed, and the man went down, and he wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah, I feel sorry for all my pay-per-view brothers and sisters, all the people who pay pay-per-view.
I want you to pay the pay-per-view next time, everybody.
Pay-per-view, you robbed the bank. They robbed the bank. They robbed the fucking bank, Punch. They robbed the... This was a fake. Fucking paying all these people paying money. This was a fix. Keep capping. Keep capping for Deontay Wilder, because we're going to cap for the I can't even
They cheated Deontay Wilder once. Let him do some of the cheating around here. Huh? Let him do some of the fixing around here. Money, 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 money. Ted DiBiase, a.k.a. Deontay Wilder.
You crazy, Punch. Yo, Punch crazy,
hey, man, he's fighting Virgils. That's what I'm talking about, man. Pay that review, scum buckets.
Sorry for the people which are hardworking, people which don't have that kind of money. Single parents got to pay child support. Think about that, Punch. Come on, man. Let's keep it real.
You should have paid your child support first. You should have paid your child support first.
No, but Punch, let me ask you. Robert Helenius's game plan, Max.
Yes.
Robert Helenius didn't have a game plan, bro. What was he doing? Running towards and running with.
Look at the boxing guys. The boxing guys don't want to shit. The boxing guys don't want to. This is what happened, man. Robert Helenius, like Deontay Wilder, lost a lot of weight, and he felt like he could muscle him around, like Tyson Fury. You feel me? So he just got caught in a bad position. And Deontay Wilder, being the boxer that he is, a great boxer that knows how to position himself to land those right hands. And what a beautiful right hand off the back foot. Speaks a lot about how technical Deontay Wilder is. One of the most elite fighters of this generation.
I don't know if Punch is being serious or he trolling, man.
Come on, look at this.
Punch is trolling, bro.
No, I'm not. Don't we time out. Don't we marvel how a fighter, when they got good power off the back foot? Now, see, not a lot of fighters have good power off the back foot. You see, like Earl Spence don't got power off the back foot, but Crawford got power off the back foot. See, it's a skill. It's a skill. It's a tech. He's off the back and then lands a right hand, a straight right hand off the ropes. Ain't even a counter uppercut, not a counter hook, a chopping hammer right hand, and he put him to sleep. That tells me that you got a lot of technique.
But hold on, what you saw tonight, at least in my opinion.
Let's come into it.
All right, go ahead, Tip.
Go on, Tip. Tip Bayless, what the fuck you doing, bro?
Oh,
Are
man.
you boxing?
No, boy. No, I'm watching this Dodgers game.
Man, bro. What's up, man?
That shit is crazy. Listen, just looking at that punch in slow motion and how it touched, it didn't even he didn't even turn his fist. He didn't even turn his fist. Like, he didn't turn his fist. Like you just looking at that shit, it's just a testament to how strong this dude is, bro, because he didn't even rotate his wrist when he punched him. And he just knocked him out flush. Like, that's crazy.
Hey, Deontay Wilder, two of his best friends, Malik Scott and HELENIUS, did the same shit.
That shit is wild.
Ah!
Shit.
Wilder right back Floyd Mayweather out here.
Oh man.
Speaking, believe it,
I mean,
receive it,
hey,
bitches.
let me ask Tip Bayless this. Tip, my brother Tip. Do you not feel sorry for the people which have to pay hard-earned money for that fight?
Feel sorry?
No, you think that that's well money spent? Is that a good pay-per-view?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
you got.
asking.
Listen, you got a knockout. You got a knockout in the. You got a knockout in the all three fights, right? You got a knockout in the Frank Sanchez fight. You got a knockout in the DIRREL fight. You got a knockout in the Wilder fight. I mean, that's hey, listen, that's worth the $75 in pay-per-view money, man.
All right, so let me just say this: pay more worthy.
Oh, you're in
Tip
the
Bayless
Matrix.
pay-per-view worthy. This is money that you got to spend for. Ask about the game plan of.
Hold on,
Yeah,
Rapstar,
this
you're in the
man.
Matrix. Rapstar, you're in the Matrix.
Hey, yo, man, Raps. Hey, yo, man,
Fucking
you gotta take
robo
care of
rap.
this shit, man. You gotta take care of that shit, man. Come on, man. It's 2022, man. T-Mobile, somebody, man, help you out. Every fucking day with that shit.
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yeah, straight down.
Man, listen, man. I'm impressed in a way that, yeah, Kalen Plant did his thing.
You're impressed.
You know, I gotta give Kalen Plant.
Oh! Before you
talking
say
about,
that,
man?
before you say that, Rapstar.
Yeah.
Y'all remember the conversation we had yesterday? Y'all remember when I said that mostly every ref that see a man get landed like that, what did the ref do right away?
He stopped the fight.
Did he even start a count?
Nah.
I don't think so.
When
I don't
DIRREL
think
went
so.
down? When DIRREL went down?
No,
Yeah.
because DIRREL when he went down, bro,
Nah.
he was like crying. He was finished. Like he couldn't even move. He was paralyzed.
Yeah, the same thing with Tyson Fury.
No, but I think Tyson Fury when he went down.
No.
He went down.
When
he went down, he
No.
opened his eyes and then got back up.
Don't cap for your boy
capping
now.
out.
Don't cap for your boy
Tyson
now.
Fury
That's what we call him, the Undertaker. What we call him, you capping right now. You capping right now. You capping right
He was
now.
paralyzed.
You capping right now. You capping.
Deontay Wilder. Capping Deontay Wilder. Deontay was in a fixed.
Why we call him the Undertaker? Why we call him the Undertaker? Because he was dead. Look,
But Deontay Wilder was in a
you
fixed
can't
fight.
come back at me.
No, that was Deontay Wilder was in a fixed fight.
You
Deontay
can't
Wilder was
come
in a
back at
fixed
me.
fight.
Robo rap, you can't come back at me.
Deontay Wilder was just in his sparring partner with a fixed fight, bro. That fight was fucking sick.
Yeah, but the difference
Yo, I'm telling
between
you, this guy came in there to take a dive. That's what I say about
No.
Deontay Wilder's
To be
fight.
To be honest. To be honest. That shit was fixed, bro.
You think
That
that's
shit,
fixed?
that shit. Nah.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. Look. Okay, look. If the guy would have went down, okay, you know what I'm saying? I still would have been like, damn, you went down. But the motherfucker went to sleep with that shot. Yo, that shit wasn't even extended.
Facts.
Nah, not like that, bro. Yo,
Exactly,
he did a
I
better
know.
acting. He did a better acting job than that dude, Mike Tyson's friend. Remember Mike Tyson Clifford, the one that took his mouthpiece off out his mouth? That was Mike Tyson's friend. Remember? He said, I wanted to do this for my friend. I fought him. You know, I was locked up with him. Same shit Deontay Wilder did.
Yep.
This shit was worse than Malik Scott, in my opinion. Yo, cause I saw it, right?
Scott was worse. Scott was worse.
Nah. This shit, for me, I don't know, man. Look. Let's say I did the video right quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I read right away. I seen the shot, did the video right quick. But then I was looking. Then when I finished doing it, looking at the highlights after, I said, nah. That shit, you don't go down like that.
Exactly.
Not like that. Yo, I don't know, man. It just seems like, this shit was WWE type of shit. And yo, y'all know I'm a Wilder fan, bro. I'm a Wilder fan. This shit was WWE, the people's elbow, The Rock, that type of shit.
That shit was crazy. I like when from the original camera angle, like when the fight was like going on, that shit looked so quick. And then when they showed that shit in slow mo, it's like, what the fuck was that?
You know what it is that you give the benefit of the doubt because he's known for that. He's known for power. It don't matter if people feel like he's fighting a tomato can or he's fighting an elite fighter like Tyson Fury. He puts everybody down. That's just facts. You know what I'm saying? But that one right there is questionable to me. That one right.
Yo, did he look weird like in like the first minute of the fight? Like as he was moving around the ring?
I think he was trying to showcase what he's been learning. I think that's why he was trying to move like that, because that's what he's been doing in the gym.
He was moving well, like, but like it was like at times like it looked like he was like off balance, like he wasn't there.
He's stiff, man. He ain't no Latin dude, man. And no sabe bailar salsa, no sabe bailar merengue, esa vaina.
Yo.
He might need to do merengue classes, man.
Yo, Mike, check everyone. Let's talk about this fight though. This was a fight where you see when Plant got knocked out. But when Plant got knocked out, he came back, right? He was still up on his feet. But what about what Plant did to Anthony DIRREL? What do you think about that?
Bro,
oh my God, that was a beautiful
amazing.
That was a beautiful knockout, bro. He slipped it.
Yeah.
Came up, held it, and then followed through with the hook, bro. Yeah. Right on the chin. Like it was a beautiful setup.
He was saying, Anthony DIRREL was saying this week, he said, I never let a white boy beat me.
Look, bro.
Oh yeah.
look. I'm putting this on notice for all black fighters out there. Y'all gotta stop talking shit to these white boys.
Yeah. Facts, yeah.
Every time a black fighter say I'm not losing to a white boy, I'm betting on the white boy 99% of the time, man.
No, but it was a good fight, man. And like it was competitive. I felt there was a little bit of maybe a little bit of running from Caleb's part, but you could tell that Plant was the superior boxer.
Yo, but DIRREL was in the fight. He was in the fight. Before he got knocked out, bro, DIRREL was doing some, like, you know what I mean? He was holding his ground. Yeah, it's just that he put his right hand low. He put his right hand low, and then boom, that's all she wrote. Now Caleb Plant with that knockout. I mean, at the end of the day, he impressed me because first I thought he was in a tough fight.
Yeah.
So now with that knockout, he wants Benavidez. Now, how do you see Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez?
That's gonna be a tough fight. Tough fight. You know what? I'm tempted to say that'd be a 50-50 fight, man. Well, after what I saw today with Plant, I'd be tempted to say it'd be a 50-50 fight.
Was that Jamel or Jamal in the crowd?
I always get the name mixed up. It's a 160-pounder.
All right, that's Jamel.
Yeah.
Yeah, my man was out there dressed like
the 160-pounder is Jamal. The 160-pounder is Jamal.
Okay, then it's
Jamal,
yeah,
no. I don't know why I'm thinking okay, yeah.
I always get the names mixed up, but yeah.
Yeah,
my boy Demetrius Andre, my boy Boo Boo Andre was in the building, though. My boy Boo Boo was in the building. Don't worry about it. We got some surprise. We got some surprise for y'all coming soon. We got some. Hey, just wait on it.
He was doing valet parking outside. That's what he was doing.
Yo, but Punch, I'm gonna be honest, Punch. I'm gonna tell you this now, yeah, bro, guys. I was impressed with the knockout, but I still think, for some reason, with that performance, I still believe in his 9th round knockout because DIRREL made a mistake. I still believe that this guy here, David Benavidez, will walk Kalen Plant down.
Oh, he's
I
definitely
think
gonna
David
tire him out.
Benavidez will fuck Kalen Plant up,
No,
bro.
no, no. Why don't we keep it real though? Kalen
Keep it real.
Plant knocked out the best opponent that David Benavidez beat.
Beat that fault.
Let's
Yeah.
say it
Yeah,
like
he did.
that.
He did.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. But I want to see this. This needs to be the next fight. Plant versus Benavidez. Then I don't want to hear no other like. Why are you gonna have a 160-pounder come up? Like, no, just fight Benavidez. That's the toughest fight. That's the best fight. And then that should be the mandatory for Canelo for the WBC.
So you think Plant versus Benavidez? Shit, Charlo versus Boo Boo?
I would. Hey, that'd be actually great. That'd be a great fight. Boo Boo versus Charlo. That'd be a great fight. But at the end of the day, I feel the fans won with this fight. Like I said,
Nah,
this was a great
every fight was great tonight. From
Nah,
start
not
to
the Wilder
finish.
fight. No, that was trash. That was trash. I'm not wasting my time with the Wilder fight.
Man, Wilder fight was fixed. Well, hey, listen, Robert Helenius took a dive, everyone.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch
he's a
Robert
great
Helenius
actor. He's a
anymore,
great
bro.
actor.
He took a fucking. Hey, listen, he should be a Hollywood actor. Give him an Oscar.
That's going to be the topic of discussion all week.
Man, listen, Deontay Wilder, give him a little pop.
I know that.
A little.
LBGC
Hey, listen,
is
Max.
happy tonight,
Max,
boy,
that was Deontay Wilder's weakest right. Pop.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I never laugh at a man getting knocked out, but this
it wasn't
motherfucker
even
ran.
fully extended.
Hey, yo, he ran straight into Deontay Wilder.
Yo, it wasn't even that. It's the fact that his glove touched his glove, and then it still proceeded to knock him out.
This was fucked up, people.
Yeah.
I am not
I wonder
impressed.
how much he got paid. I wonder how much he got paid.
I'm not impressed
Oh,
with Helenius. Hey, Helenius fucked up the whole fucking game, bro. Hey, listen, he took $75 from my brothers and sisters. Hey, yo, my American brothers and sisters, you need to protest. But I know most of you mofos streamed it. Let's keep it real. How many of you streamed the fight? Who paid the pay-per-view, Max?
I stream it. Come on, why you gonna ask me? You know I always told you I stream it, bro.
Oh, Max, did you stream it?
Absolutely, all of them.
You ain't a hardcore fan, bro.
Unless it's like a real big fight that I want to see, then I'll throw a party in.
Ted Bayless, tell the truth. What happened? Did you stream it?
I got the Fox Sports app, man. I bought that shit.
Yeah, Ted Bayless is a true boxing man.
I know too,
yeah, he's a true boxing man. Did you stream it? Yo, timing is everything. He said, I streamed it. Hey, John McSmith, did you stream it? Bacon and eggs. Did you stream it?
John McSmith waiting for the paper tomorrow to find out.
Bacon and eggs said he streamed it, bro. Shit. Nobody wants to give no love. What's going on there? D Calico. Hey, D Calico, everybody said that this is a fix. Deontay Wilder gave a little punch. Talk to me, D.
It could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
I'm not here to, but I ain't gonna lie. That was the when you look at the replay, like only thing I can say good about it is that he definitely showed a little bit of, the way he evaded that little punch and looked at it like bitch and pop. It was the first time I seen him a little bit under control while somebody swinging at him. But I still couldn't believe that was a knockout almost.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why it was such a real knockout. Because if you look at the start from the entrance, Deontay Wilder came in with the light armor on, bro. That's why he was at full strength this fight, and he got the knockout because the armor wasn't heavy this fight.
The armor was heavy, yeah.
Remember, like in the Fury fight, he came in with that armor and it was heavy on him.
Man,
so
listen,
it was not 100%.
This man was just talking like Wilder was talking after the fight like he just beat an elite fighter. I mean, I didn't even want to hear the rest of the interview after the win because I was like, dude,
Wilder said he wants Usyk next.
Come on, are you serious?
I like that fight. I mean, it's either Usyk or Andy Ruiz.
Yeah. But yeah, that Caleb Plant fight at Darrell, man. What should happen to Darrell? Should he retire? That's his fourth loss, I think, right? Yeah, I think he already had three. I think.
Yeah, he's on his way out the door anyway. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna.
I think he's like what 37 anyway. I think he's like 37 or
He's
something
getting up
like
in
that.
age.
Yeah, so it's funny though. I mean, it was a good fight. You know what sucked though? At the same time, the Devin Haney and Kambosos fight was going on.
The best fight of the
Uh,
night.
so
I told you.
Yeah, but what
we
do you
gonna get
think?
to it.
What do you think about Deontay Wilder saying that? And I want to get D Calico into this. D Calico, what do you feel about Deontay Wilder when he went little? Did his little right hand pop? He come out. He said, "Yeah, man, he wants Usyk now." What do you think, D Calico?
I mean, if that was a real knockout, we all know he could knock out every fighter in boxing. I wouldn't say knockout, but well, maybe not knock out everybody because we know one guy. But even that guy has tasted the canvas. Like there's never been a fighter fought Deontay and didn't sit on his ass. You know what I'm saying? So, he could easily knock Usyk out, but he could have a long night with Usyk at the same time. If you have a long night, Usyk wins. If he can just touch him one time, he probably will knock him out in the first couple rounds. I mean, Anthony Joshua had him on the verge, but Joshua's of a more sound mind, it looks like. But I don't know, man. I feel like maybe he needs another tune-up. he needs to go, at least 6 rounds.
A tune-up against who?
Oh, let's go with this fight. I think the biggest fight for Wilder, Tip Bayless, and Max and D Calico and the chat. The biggest fight is Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, that's the biggest fight for him. Yeah.
Man, I don't like
that. Would be a big fight for him, though.
I don't like that fight for Joshua.
That's the fan's favorite. That's the fan favorite fight, but that's not the biggest fight for Wilder.
What's the biggest fight then?
That's the biggest fight in money-wise.
Usyk would probably be the biggest fight.
That'll be the biggest money for him. No, he'll make more money with Usyk.
That's like saying Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford before they had belts.
But just think about it like this.
Important because they got the belts.
Yeah, I was about to say they got the belt. So think about it like this, Rapstar. If Wilder beats Usyk for a belt, right? Then what's left on the table is still Joshua and Fury. So, you know what I'm saying? You could possibly get Wilder versus Fury for what undisputed belt. Or, you know what I'm saying, you get Fury Joshua versus Wilder, you know what I'm saying, if Deontay was to beat Usyk for, you know what I'm saying, a unified bout.
I mean, it all depends, right? At the end of the day, Wilder got big fights coming ahead of him now. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, regardless of what happened today, you know what I mean, with the fix in place, we saw that the sparring partner did not even have a fucking game plan. You know what I mean? So what does that prepare Deontay Wilder for now? Nothing. But it was, exciting to see Wilder back in his spirits. So Deontay Wilder's got big fights. He got Andy Ruiz. That's really going to be the fight for Deontay Wilder, my friend. It's going to be Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder.
Andy Ruiz is the fight. That's the last person he want to fight.
Well, that's the third guy he's going to fight.
You think so?
Heck yeah, because I'm just saying, like, he's a tank. Nobody's knocking out Andy Ruiz. Nobody's knocking out Andy. So he's not up for that because it's going to take at least 10 rounds of chopping at a tree.
I was talking to my brother and my cousin that earlier. I was like, man, Andy can stay in there. I don't know. Andy gonna go down though, for sure. He for sure gonna go down.
If that's the real Deontay. If that's the old Deontay, pre Tyson Fury, hell yeah, he going down. But I'm just saying, all of these guys are bums to the old Deontay. But it looks like Deontay don't have his legs. I'm a Deontay fan. It just I don't see his legs at all. He's not fluid.
But this is going to be the fight, D Calico. This is going to be the fight they're going to make. Al Heyman is going to make the inside, his own inside fight. You know what I mean? He ain't going to look outside his own camp. Al Heyman is going to make Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz. Now, this is worth pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view fight. It's a
Hey,
big fight.
I feel like Frank Sanchez and Andy Ruiz should fight. You know, like his style of fighting, it'll work with a lot. Like Frank Sanchez's style of fighting work with a lot of people, but I don't really think it'll work with Ruiz. Ruiz is like a wrong guy to kind of like pick on. You know what I mean? If you think you're just gonna hit him 1,000 times, you're going to get hit 1,000 times back in retaliation or more.
Yeah,
like that's one good thing about Ruiz, man. He let them hands fly.
And then that hand speed a heavyweight at that.
Yeah, super speed, man, for a fat guy, man. I ain't never seen that.
But you already know this though. If Deontay Wilder catches him with the 1-2, or Deontay Wilder catches him with a wild right, and or you know, Deontay Wilder clips him, Andy Ruiz is in trouble. And one thing we know about Andy Ruiz, he's coming to fight as well. He ain't gonna stand on his fucking guard. He ain't gonna be there trying to counter punch all the time. He's gonna try and come forward at some point. So this is a good fight. If you ask me, this is gonna be the fight for you guys in America, 2023. This is gonna be in Vegas. They're gonna sell this out. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder. It's a big fight. This is a big fight.
Hey, what about Devin Haney? Devin Haney's best fight ever.
Yeah, I mean, he did his best ever, but he tried his hardest.
Yeah, I'm saying without a knockout,
he tried his hardest for the knockout, bro.
Yeah.
But
Kambosos is
but Devin Haney gassed out a little bit. He tried his hardest. He was the superior fighter against Kambosos. He was clipping him with the jab, but Haney tried so hard that he couldn't get the knockout, and then he gave up for the knockout. And then he let Kambosos back into the fight. He let him back into the fight just later on in the fight a little bit. But, you know, Haney did his thing again. Haney did his thing. He was a bit more aggressive. You got to give Haney that. He tried his hardest. But he couldn't get the knockout, could he, D. Calico?
No, man, but I loved it, man. You know, as far as, you know, the punishment that he put on Kambosos was, you know, the most I've seen him put on any fighter. That's what I'm saying. Even the guys he knocked out, he didn't punish them like that. You know, so that was a good look for Haney. Like, if you don't knock guys out, start doing that a little more often, and everybody will start respecting you. It's just like Errol Spence. He don't have to knock you out, but he's going to.
What do you think about Haney, Max? Haney versus Kambosos. Haney tried his hardest to get the KO. What do you think?
Listen, this is where everything changed for Kambosos. He went back to the C-level fighter that I think he is. It was in the fifth round. I noticed how his demeanor changed, and he went back to that first round style of fighting. I was impressed in the beginning. You saw Kambosos come a little bit more aggressive, demanding respect, and I'm like, oh, okay. Seems like it's going to be an interesting fight. And overall, it was an interesting fight. I'm kind of disappointed. Devin Haney couldn't get him out of there. I think, you know, he just doesn't have the power really needed. I mean, he put a beating, though, on Kambosos, and I think Kambosos should retire. That's my take. I'll let someone else talk.
Wow.
I agree, though. Devin Haney did do more than he normally would. He did dominate him in most of the rounds.
Agree with the retirement?
You know what I mean? He did, but he tried to get the knockout. He tried. You know what I mean? He tried to press the gas. He did try, but you know he ain't got, like, even the commentators said, even Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward. What did they say, Max? They said
Andre Ward is a horrible commentator.
But listen, this is what Timothy Bradley said. If Devin Haney had the power, this fight would have been over already.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Keep the shit real.
If he had Tank Davis's power, he would have got him out of there. Which made, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think you know who I think can actually beat him too? Even though, I'm about to come down my neck about this. After seeing him fight and not being able to get him out of there, I think Shakur Stevenson is gonna give Devin Haney some real problems, man.
You drunk as hell.
Oh, come on, Tim. Come on. There's no way. if you can't get Kambosos out of there, you telling me he gonna get a Shakur out of there? Nah.
Man, listen.
Yeah. He ain't gonna get him out of there. He gonna beat him.
I don't even
Devin
think
Haney
Shakur
can't get. Devin Haney will never get Shakur out. Devin Haney could never get Shakur. Forget that. Devin Haney will never get any fighter out of there, bro.
Shakur would never get him out of there. Shakur ain't gonna knock nobody out in 135.
Yeah. But Devin Haney ain't knocking nobody out at 135.
And neither is Shakur.
But let's keep it real, though.
No, wait, hold on. I'm gonna give some respect to Devin Haney.
Devin Haney did really well today.
His IQ in the ring was like he did a good job. He was making a miss. And Kambosos, man, he's such a trash fighter, man. He was just getting caught so much with the repetitive throughout the match. Again, after the 5th round, that's when he went back to that old Kambosos that we saw in the 1st round. I really wish Devin would have got him out of there, but you know, he did his thing, so I gotta respect that.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, Kambosos again let himself down. He couldn't get, but you know what? At the end of the day, Kambosos couldn't get himself off because Devin Haney is just too much clever for Kambosos. Devin Haney wore Kambosos down. Now, he didn't have the punching power, but at one point, Haney thought he could stop Kambosos. Now, Haney did make Kambosos' face get fucked up a little bit. Yeah. But Haney then slowed down afterwards a little bit. When he realized he couldn't get Kambosos out, then he kept with his boxing. And then Kambosos did come up in the 12th round, 11th round. He was coming back in the fight a little bit in the 10th. But to be honest, Haney did his thing, man. Haney was dominant. Haney can't get the knockout. We realize that. Haney knows it now. Haney tried again to get a knockout. He did try to please the fans, D. Calico. He tried, but it didn't come. Kalen Plant got the knockout. Deontay Wilder got the fixed knockout. And Devin Haney tried his hardest, bro. You know what I mean? Devin Haney tried his hardest. He stepped it up
and brung the 2-piece, but now next time I want to see a 3-piece, goddamn it. You know what I mean? Eventually, I want to see a 5-piece. I ain't like you, Devin Haney, man. You got too much skills not to show me. Man, you should have 10-pieced his ass, man. I ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying?
I mean, look at this, though. Devin Haney's punch placement and punch precisement, right? Like how precise he punches is great. So imagine if he had that power.
Yeah, it's gonna take weight.
Bro, you know? This geezer, he lacks power. Otherwise, he's a great fighter. Look, Devin Haney don't need a grab. Look how fucking he's punching. Max, he's giving clear punches to the face. It's just his power's not that powerful, bro. He don't have that one snapping punch power knockout. You know what I'm saying? So he can't take you out like that. But he tried. He did try. I got to give Haney that. He tried his hardest. You know what I'm saying? He did great, but he couldn't close the show. And, you know, I think he feels that inside as well sometimes that, man, I'm trying my hardest to close this show. Devin Haney's not stupid, you know, people.
He gonna start taking steroids. Watch. You heard it here
Look,
first.
and let me tell you what, Devin Haney is really pissed off right now.
I'm just capping, but yeah.
Now, let me tell you why Devin Haney's not happy, because he said the pound for pound, people don't even recognize me. Like, it affects him. You know what I mean, D. Calico? It affects him because he should be in the pound for pound. Devin Haney should be in the pound for pound, right? And they don't want to put him in there. Now, let me ask you this. Why do you think they don't want to put Devin Haney in the pound for pound? Answer the question.
Because who you matter fights and how you win matters also. And that's
the reason why they're not putting Devin Haney in the pound for pound, Max, you're a little bit right. It's how you win and how you close the show sometimes.
Absolutely.
Devin Haney doesn't close the show. He outpoints his fighters like Kambosos. But like Max said, Kambosos is not the A-class fighter.
C level.
Well, I say he's B-. But Max said he's C level.
He's better than HELENIUS. That's that much.
Yeah, he's way better than HELENIUS. Look, big respect to Devin Haney for getting his undisputed. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Devin Haney and Bill. Shout out to Devin Haney and Bill. They did their thing. They went to another country, you know, against all odds, you know. So I'm not gonna hate. I just, he's not my favorite fighter, but it is what it is.
Nah, man, it is what it is, man. Look, at the end of the day, the pound for pound don't recognize Devin Haney. And Devin Haney said, fuck the pound for pound. Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, Devin Haney didn't even bring his Ring magazine belt. That's how offended he is. This has affected Devin Haney. Let me tell you something, Max. Do you know that I know the Haneys behind the scenes? Do you know that I know Devin Haney's dad really well?
Really?
D Calico, do I know Bill Haney? D Calico,
Yep,
are you there?
damn right. Damn right. He been up here before.
Listen, I already know how the Haneys think, Max. Devin Haney's pissed off. Do you know what he wanted to do in this fight?
Right.
He really wanted to knock Kambosos out just to show the fans that he can do it. Devin Haney wanted to show the world that he can stop Kambosos. And it didn't happen, bro. And this is why he wanted to do it, because he wants to be in the pound for pound. He wants the pound to pound to recognize that he can do things. And the pound for pound people think that Devin Haney, either he's boring, but when he tries his hardest, he's a little bit exciting, but then he lets it go where a fighter is still in the fight. So, I don't know, man. I'm impressed that Devin Haney did his thing, but the world does not recognize Haney as the pound for pound guy.
Yeah. So who's next for Devin Haney? Let's see what the panel thinks, because I think Loma's the best option for him, and I think Loma beats Devin Haney. That's my take.
So you think Lomachenko can beat Devin Haney now?
Yeah.
I don't blame you. What do you think, D Calico? Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. Yo, D Calico sleeping. Tip Bayless, are you still there? Tip Bayless, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think about that, bro? What do you think about Devin Haney today, bro? I ain't heard from you.
Oh man, Devin looked great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I told you guys that's gonna be the fight. That was the fight to watch. That was the fight I was most intrigued to, and looking forward to. It's Haney Kambosos, because I knew they were gonna come to fight. They had something to prove. After that first fight, they took all the criticism in. They thought about their performances and they were like, "Fuck it, we gonna come out and fight this time." I like how Kambosos came out the first 2 rounds too. He made it a little bit tricky for him. It did start to slow down because he was moving like very excessively. Like he was moving way too much. And I think that's why he started to slow down in the later rounds. I really wish what he would have did against Devin was use that right hand. He didn't use his right hand as much as he should have, because the overhand was there the whole time, because Devin's sitting there with his hand below his chin, But Devin, Devin did what he was supposed to do. Devin came out. Now he's mixing the combinations. He was clinching appropriately.
But do you feel a little bit disappointed that he didn't get the closeout? Like he wanted to knock the guy out.
I'm not too disappointed by that, because if you just look at the fight, he was hurting him. So that's really all he had to do.
Yeah, what do you think about the pound for pound? They don't like his fighting style. He don't close the show. He don't bring the excitement. He's not knocking anybody out. What do you think about the pound for pound?
I don't know if I really base pound for pound off of performances. I think it's more or less like who you've beaten, either who you've beaten or like, yeah, that's basically it for me. If you beat the top guys in your division,
yeah. But what do you think about Lomachenko? Says he wants to fight today's winner. Do you think Devin Haney will fight Lomachenko or move to 140 right now? At this point, has Devin Haney still got to prove himself at 135? He only fought Kambosos. So what has he proved? People are going to say What has he proved?
Nah, I don't think Devin has to fight Loma.
So if he doesn't fight Loma, who does he fight if he stays at 135?
I don't think he stays at 135. I think he moves up.
So you're saying he gives up the belts and moves up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. If I was Devin, I'd do that exactly.
I mean, he can earn multi-millions earning and fighting a man like Lomachenko.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Huh?
they say, you know, losing the weight.
And he moves up to 140, he's ducking straight up.
I don't think he's ducking, man. Like the dude had the. If you look at how he, the weigh-in, bro, like Devin looked drained. Like
Yo,
I agree.
He looked like a
What's up,
skeleton up there.
What's
Nah,
up,
I ain't gonna lie about that one. He did look drained. But here's my thing, man. I still want to see Devin Haney versus Loma. I want to see him against Stevenson. I want to see him against Tank. But because I think that's where we really find out who's the best of the best amongst all of them. You know what I mean?
Hey, look,
And
I'm
see,
gonna make a statement. I'm gonna make a statement right now. I don't care what anybody says to me. Yeah, Devin Haney did good. But if he's going to not be able to stop and try his hardest and he can't stop Kambosos, Ryan Garcia would put Kambosos to sleep.
Facts.
Ryan Garcia will put Kambosos to sleep. I don't give a fuck
That's
what
a
anybody
fact.
says right
That's
now.
a fact.
And I believe Ryan Garcia will knock Devin Haney the fuck out. That's my thing on that. But yo, I'm going to go to Punch. What's up, Big Punch?
I agree. I agree that Ryan Garcia would knock the shit out of Kambosos.
Thank you, Punch. Thank you for agreeing.
I agree with Tip Bayless in that Devin Haney shouldn't fight Loma. He shouldn't fight Loma. He should move up. I don't know who he's gonna fight, but he shouldn't fight Loma. I love to see the fight, yeah, but I to be honest, man.
But why do you say that? Why do you say he shouldn't though?
Because he's drained.
Man, this the Loma channel. That's why.
Okay.
No, man, you could just see that the dude was drained, bro.
Y'all stop hating on Devin, man. Devin will beat all of them motherfuckers y'all name. There's nobody you can name. There's nobody you can name unless you like. Y'all don't even like Tank.
Tell them D Calico.
I'm saying this.
Bro, y'all just they just making excuses because he can't knock him. Oh, he ain't knock him out. He'll beat their ass though. Go line them up. You ain't got a person in the world that can beat him. But guess what? Just like Shakur say, if you banking a knockout, you already
his
lost.
bowling ball it's not heavy enough to knock down the pins. His bowling ball is not heavy enough to knock down the pins.
You can't win without a knockout. You won't beat him without a knockout. There's nobody in boxing. Nobody in boxing will beat Haney without a knockout. Nobody.
But it's not. It's just not the. It's not the knockout. It's not the knockout. It's that Devin Haney hit him with everything in the kitchen sink in the 10th round.
Every fucking thing.
Yep.
Man, why you saying that shit? Teofimo Lopez hit him with everything in the kitchen sink.
Bro, Teofimo Lopez hit the fuck out.
Teofimo Lopez hit him with everything in the kitchen sink.
But look,
Lopez hit him with everything in the kitchen sink. Teofimo ain't knocked nobody out. When the last time he knocked somebody out?
Haney.
When the last time Teofimo knocked somebody out?
Opponent.
Last fight, yeah, last opponent.
Oh, that bomb. Oh, yeah. My bad, that bomb. Yeah, but I'm talking about a real fight.
Yeah, man. And how he won his first title. How he won his first title. How he won his first title.
That wasn't no knockout.
How?
That wasn't no damn knockout.
Tell me how.
Man, he fought a one-arm bandit. God damn it.
He can't knock this motherfucker out. He
could knock Loma out with one arm. Loma had one arm, and he couldn't knock him out.
Shots.
The same Kambosos, ate all that Teofimo shit.
He holds. Everybody see it. Everybody see it. That's why his own network. That's why his own network will put him on the pound for pound list. That's his own network. His own ring. The Ring magazine said, "You don't want to give me the fucking belt. Give me
you would have said the same.
Give me the motherfucking belt."
You would have said the same thing about Cassius Clay.
Nah, man. That's a dead man walking. That man is dead man walking. Kambosos was dead man walking. Motherfucker landed 200 motherfucking power shots probably. Couldn't knock him out. Couldn't even stagger him.
He couldn't stagger him,
bro.
He couldn't. He couldn't. Keep it real, man. Keep it facts over here, bro.
You think Regis Poker do to his ass? Hey, yo, Gary Antoine Russell will fucking knock out Devin Haney within 5 rounds.
Yo, boy, wow.
Man, there's not a person in boxing that he won't school. Hey, you know good and goddamn well. I love Gary Antoine Russell.
Haney's in trouble,
and we all know he got the power.
You ain't say that about that.
Watch this. Look, I love Gary Antoine Russell, and we all know he got the power to do it, but he do not have the skills, and I love him. But he don't have the skills to motherfucking do that to Devin Haney. Devin Haney was dancing to his ass.
The guy that beat Boots Ennis in the amateur twice. You talking about that? And Gary Antoine Russell? You talking about that one?
Man, this like this.
We ain't talking about Antonio. We ain't talking about Antonio. We talking about Antoine Russell.
I ain't gonna lie.
He ain't nothing but a punch. Nothing else. He stick his chin out and he's swinging. What are you talking about?
Devin versus Gary Antoine.
Hey, yo.
That's gonna be like Floyd versus Maidana, man.
Hey, yo, Kambosos in the 10th round, he ate like 3 shots. And he stood there like, Baba, like, come on. Stop slapping. My fucking wife slaps me better than slap me harder than this shit.
Hey, look, put it like this.
You hear Bill Haney. You hear Bill Haney say, go get him out, son. Get him out. I can't, Dad. I can't.
Look, most boxers got a lot of damage.
I can't help. This is too funny.
Hey, most boxers got a lot of damage, man.
Shit. Devin the pillow hands Haney, bro. Devin fucking threw everything in the kitchen sink. Everything in the kitchen sink, bro. Hey, Devin Haney got the most power. Thrown in the fire. And Kambosos in the 12th round is coming after him. Kambosos is coming after him, trying to slap him. What the fuck is this about? That's why they don't want to put him in the pound for pound. They don't want to put Devin Haney in the pound for pound. What the fuck? D Calico, they don't want to put Devin Haney in the pound for pound, bro. What's that about?
Hey, yo, D Calico.
Bro, they don't want to put Jermaine Charlo in the pound for pound.
I ain't never wasted a fucking Saturday.
They don't want to put Jermaine Charlo. They don't want to put
Saturday.
I can't do it, Daddy. I can't do it, Dad. Dad, I can't do it, Daddy. Daddy, I can't do it tonight. I'm sorry, man. This is too funny, bro. This is funny, mate. Hey, listen, his dad said, get him the fuck out of here. His dad said, get him the fuck out of here, bro. And he said, I can't do it, Dad. Not tonight. I can't fucking do it, man. He tried his hardest, though. I gotta give Devin Haney his props. He tried to get the knockout, bro. Devin Haney's got to get props for that. He got to get props. You got to give Devin Haney some serious props, man. It's just that Bill Haney was putting pressure on him, D Calico.
Yeah.
Bill Haney is like, he's saying, get him out of there.
He's
saying, get him the fuck out of there. On everything you fucking love. Get him the fuck out of there, D Calico. So I can put you on the fucking pound for pound and I can tell Punch, fuck you. They've been waiting for that day.
Yeah,
they've been waiting for that day.
I'm gonna tell you the weakness in his game is not necessarily the punch. It's not no punch power. It's that all of the punching. Watch it. All of the punching that he does, none of it goes to the body. None of it. He don't even set you up with all the God gifted talent he had. He will not set you up properly. Like a person with less talent would set you up better than him. You know, they go to the body and then come up top. You know, this guy got all these skills.
I can't do it, Daddy.
I'm gonna start a petition for any commission. Let this man use whatever Conor Ben was trying to use versus Chris Eubank Jr.
Oh
He's
my
approved.
God, yo.
He is approved.
Yo,
I
you
don't
wild,
care.
Punch.
Shoot him up with steroids up his ass. Put him out there to fight.
I don't even think steroids.
And you better give him some of that Conor Ben shit. That's all I'm saying, bro.
That clomiphene.
How many
fucking
knockouts?
times 2 clomiphene.
Hey, how many knockouts we got on the panel? How many knockouts we got on the panel?
What do you mean?
The same knockouts Devin Haney.
Don't tell me all the knockouts came from me. I'm the only one got all the knockouts up here.
We can't do it, Dad.
We can't
We
do
can't
it, Daddy.
do it, Dad.
Daddy, we can't do it. I'm trying to hit him with everything. Everything that we worked out on fucking everything, Dad. Every fucking thing. I tried it all. I tried the jab. I tried the stiff jab. I tried a love hook. I tried a body shot. Dad, I just can't do it. Go out there and do it some of. I just can't do it, Daddy. Please stop pressuring me to do something I can't do. Why are you never wasting a Saturday? Never in my life. He's done. He's done.
Yo, Punch, you crazy.
You're
man.
crazy, motherfucker.
No, rap star. Let's be honest. Normally, in this circumstance, you would be saying Kambosos has an iron chin. That's what I mean. Anybody who does what he did, you would have said that guy has an iron chin. But instead, we saying that Devin Haney's pillow fist.
But Calico, I think it's because there was too many mistakes made from Kambosos' part, and his chin was just open, perfect enough for anybody that had a little bit of power to knock him out.
It sounds good. It sounds good. But when you got an iron chin, you ain't going to be, man. We've seen every boxer caught out of place with their chin just sitting out. Well, I could think I can knock them out, but they don't get knocked out, bro.
No,
they got iron chin.
Devin definitely upgraded from the pillows.
Yo, bro, even Andre Ward, that is a fucking technician, was saying, yo, Devin Haney, he should take more risks. Since the 6th round, he's like, he should take more risks. I think it's time for him to take some risks. Take some risks. And you're talking about a guy, an IQ smart guy that was getting bored by that shit.
Yo, Punch, can we give some respect to my sister, Rachel Donaire, in the building?
Raquel Donari, what's good?
Hey,
So Rachel, right, let me just put some respect on Rachel Donaire, Calico. Rachel Donaire said Kambosos' footwork is bad.
Yeah.
Kambosos' footwork is just bad, bro.
No, Devin is elite.
Nah.
No, but Kambosos' footwork is bad. Like Max said.
Look.
Max said Kambosos was there for the takings all night.
No.
Only for
Hey, yo,
Haney.
Devin Haney got a jab. Devin Haney got a jab, right hand, and then a jumping left hook, hoping to get you knocked out, because he did that to that guy. What's his name, Morel? That's all he got, and then he'll hold you. Man, motherfucker, ESPN, in the first time of boxing telecast history, it was counting clinches. They was counting clinches more than punches. Clinches. I never seen that in my life. Devin Haney got 17 clinches already. They trying to make something out of this event, something fun, something like what? Man, he boxed good, but man, the man in front of him was there to go. Was tailor-made for him to get knocked out.
Hey, Punch,
He
can I be
trained with
honest?
his trainer. He
Hey,
don't
Punch.
have his manager. He was out there for a payday.
Yeah, but Punch, can I be honest though? They did take your advice, Punch. They did. And we got Rachel and Nonito Donaire in the building. We got the WBC champion, Rachel Donaire, the manager, and Nonito Donaire in the building. Big shout out to Rachel. What's going on, Rachel?
Kambosos' footwork is shit.
Tell us why.
He was trying to do these switchy steps that were kind of mimicking a really slow down 25% Mike Tyson, trying to come in, switch step, and then like that huge left hand. Every single time that he even feinted with his left, his right foot would go behind his left foot, not even linear, but actually at a negative, to the point that when Devin threw his jab off of that, what was he going to do? He couldn't throw his right or straight. He really couldn't even throw a defensive jab at that point. And he couldn't back up, so he was just a sitting target.
And the weight distribution between Kambosos' leg and his foundation.
No. Before you talk, champ, please let me introduce you to the fans, to the world. We can't have the champ speaking in Rap Star Boxing without me introducing you, my brother. This is Nonito Donaire. We have, let me just tell everybody, my sister, this is Nonito Donaire in the building, the legend, the man himself, Nonito Donaire. You better smash the fucking like button. You better smash this fucking like button right now. I want to see you smash this like button because, Max, we have Nonito Donaire, my legend, the man that we support from England, Nonito Donaire.
Thank you, brother.
How's it going, my brother?
Thank you. So yeah, but going back into it, the way he distributed his legs is very front-legged. So all Devin needed to do was step back, because when you have your front leg forward and you step forward, and that's it, because you're so front-legged. For him, it was so front-legged, and he was just very unstable. His foundation was really off, and that's what made him pay for all those why Haney can go around him.
So do you believe that Haney did go for the knockout, champ?
I think so. He stood more on his ground in this fight rather than the jabbing and moving around. You know, he stood more. He sat on his punches, and he countered every single time that Kambosos missed or reached in.
Yeah, he was opting to exchange more than he did in the first fight.
Take him out, son.
That's not what he said. The rap star has to say it, because rap star does it. Rap has to do it with a Bay accent, though. That's what I want to hear. But,
now go on, Rachel.
No, yeah. So I think that he took more, more risk this fight. Is that, like, I think people wanted to see him take, of course, more risks. But for whatever reason, he wasn't comfortable in really finishing this night. I mean, without what round was it? Was it 10th round, 9th round, where he looked like it was like Halloween? I think it was 10 to 11.
Where he hit him with everything in the kitchen sink.
Yeah. And he was like bleeding. I was like, wow, this is a great Halloween special. And we were talking about it. I was like, I told Nonito, back and forth. I was like, do you think he's gonna stop the fight? I'm like, wait, we're in Australia. He's not just gonna not try, right? I mean, if medical stops it, whole different story. And he could always say, I could have still gone back out. But he could have. I believe he had him so much in that round. He could have ended it in that round.
Well, I want to say this. The chat is actually speaking another language now. They don't want to speak about fucking Devin Haney anymore. They want to speak about Nonito Donaire. They're asking me, what is the champ going to do? What is Nonito Donaire going to do next? Because we've never had him on Rap Star. So we're introducing him to an audience which we've only spoke about Nonito on our channel, right? So by having him here, now we want to speak to him. Is that okay, champ?
Yeah, but Rap, get a better picture. That picture sucks.
Why? This is the picture of the. Listen, Nonito, do you mind this picture?
I don't mind. But if the lady does,
Yeah. So we got. Look, I got a better picture. Watch. I've got a better picture. I am.
I can't wait.
Let me find it. Let me find it. There we go.
There
we go. We got the picture.
We
got a picture now.
Made me realize you were the lucky one.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive.
No,
this is exclusive, Max.
Put up when Nonito Donaire was singing karaoke. Yeah,
I love karaoke, man. I love karaoke. That's just my thing. I'm Filipino, so
hey, listen. Hey, look, we want to speak to yourself, Nonito Donaire. Max, you got a question for the champ? Max, have you run away? Have you got shy? Oh, Max has run away. I don't know what happened to Max. But look, my thing is this. Somebody said, what are you doing next? What is the plans for you? And who are you looking to fight next? We were thinking that you were fighting maybe Estrada. What is going on, champ?
We were planning the bantamweight at the end of the year, but it was falling apart. A lot of the deals were, so we opted to just rest this year and come back stronger next year.
Okay, so you're gonna take a bit of time out for a bit, yeah?
Yeah, we're probably. I mean, we've been really busy, so.
I mean, it's middle of October. We're not going to try to make a fight by December, considering the WBO hasn't made a decision on the Ioka versus what is his name? Who's Ioka supposed to fight?
Franco.
And then, we saw what happened with Ancajas Martinez, but Martinez is on vacation. So, you know what? Trying to push, an agenda to fight before the end of the year, I don't think is realistic. And I think if we got into camp with that expectation, I think we're going to burn out. So, it's better to just, keep in shape and pace for now. And when there's a little bit more solidifying of the direction that we're going and who we're fighting, then we'll wrap it up from there, but not too early.
I got a question. I got a question for the king and queen. Knowing your expertise and your experience in boxing, what do y'all feel about the Deontay Wilder knockout? Was that a legit or was that fixed?
We haven't seen it.
I've seen the replay, and I saw the replay, but I just couldn't find a punch. Maybe it was fast. People said it was a straight, but it was a left hook. And he has the power to do it. I just have to really look and assess it for myself, because I didn't really see it myself for the way he went down and looked up and just looked up like he was seeing God. It was I just tried to look for the punch. I couldn't find the punch.
Yeah. Hey, listen,
I love that PR answer.
No, he right. Without the replay,
we got some time. Go check out the replay right quick.
Yeah, let's check out the replay then. Hey, D Calico, we got the champ in the building. D Calico, you wanna, don't be shy.
Please, I've been wanting to see it. I'm gonna put this big screen.
Man, I wish I had my computer.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this.
Can you pull it up?
What is it?
You ain't gonna get flagged if you put that 2-second clip. If you could.
So somebody, D Calico.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
Play the
5
clip.
seconds.
Play the clip, D Calico.
No, I don't got my computer. I was hoping punch pull it.
No, I ain't got mine. No, but look,
pull it up.
I mean, you made a good point. Punch made his thumbnail, and he made a quick video about it, and said it was one of the best right hands. Punch said it was a right hand. Deontay Wilder's right hand is back. I didn't see no right. I've seen the little clip that I saw on my phone. I did not see a right unless it was too fast for me to see.
It was. Nah, it was a fast punch. It was a fast punch. Though.
It was.
I was Kendall over here. He got hit by a ghost.
Now, without the replay, I couldn't see it. But with the replay, you saw how he weaved 2 punches, and then he bounced against the ropes. And I guess that bounced against the ropes and the fact that HELENIUS was running at him, that quick little touch knocked him out, just like when Tank knocked out Raleigh.
Yeah, but you can see that.
Like,
Tank shot was clear as day.
Yeah, for me, I gotta see it again.
No, not without the replay. Without the replay, you couldn't see what Tank did.
You didn't see the Tank punch without the replay because it was short.
Nope.
It was
too fast.
I know.
And he stepped out of there. It just looked like Tank dodged the punch.
But
I think they teaching him how to do that Chinese Qigong stuff where the guy is just pushing his arm, and everybody's falling all over the place.
Tank knockout looked more forceful than the Wilder knockout.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw the punch when Tank knocked dude out. You know, you saw the
Really?
punch. He ran into it.
Yeah.
but
And
it was super
you saw his
slow
head
motion.
snap. You saw his
That's
head
super
snap.
slow motion. That Tank knockout replay is in super slow motion because he really did that. Like that guy's fast, man. Like people don't give him enough credit, but he got a lot of speed. For real. And power, of course.
Well, it was short. That's the thing.
So, how do you guys feel about this guy's game plan? He didn't even have a game plan. He came running towards the bronze bomber. I mean, where was his game plan? What was he there for? A paycheck? I mean, people have already come out with it. They've said now, I want to ask Rachel. Rachel, people are saying it's a fix. They're saying this is a fix.
I have to see the replay.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to say anything because I haven't seen it. He's seen
No,
the.
I hear you.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen but Nonito's the only one who's put that in my mind now. I didn't think about the replay. I just saw what I saw. It just looked like a quick right punch.
See, look what you started. Now you
No,
started
I'm just looking at it. For me, I'm still looking for it. That's all I'm saying. You know, because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the left hand. You know, maybe I had to really
Punch. What
sit
did you
down
see?
and see it more in a bigger screen.
Punch. What did you see? You always analyzing fights from different angles. What you seen?
Man, it was he tried to shoot from the back foot. He shot a counter right hammer. I call it like a hammer right. A short hammer right, not even extended, and the dude went to sleep.
Yep. It was right. That's real. I ain't gonna lie. That was the first time I ever seen him knock somebody out.
Like if you're trying to go, like you're trying to hit somebody with a cocotazo, like.
But I ain't gonna lie. The fact that he bounced off the rope kind of made it, you know, a little extra. And HELENIUS was running at him. You feel me? So like they met each other face to face.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know, but let me. Oh, okay. So he did land that straight. I'm looking at the
Some Instagram.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all the different angles, and he did land that straight. Okay.
Replay it again.
Because the one that I saw, the straight's right there.
I see what they're saying though. It's almost like a grace. Watch it again.
Yeah.
Again.
A question from Nonito Donaire right now from Kendall. Kendall's one of our big subscribers. He says, question for Nonito is that do you plan to do any commentating in the near future?
Do you hear how he talks?
I don't know.
No, I mean I can, you know, I just kind of, I don't know. I mean,
you get excited, and then all of a sudden you start cut. What happens? You're like, holy shit! Oh my god!
No, I would love to, but I'm very emotional when it comes down to watching the fight.
Well, how about in Spanish? Would you be like more suited doing it in your own language?
He's not Spanish.
Well,
Nope.
I mean, I've done it. I've done it a few times. He's
just gonna say "orale" in the corner.
I ain't gonna lie. Like your wife would be perfect for almost ESPN. For real.
Yeah.
I don't like smiling a lot.
No, I mean, I think. I mean, I love to do it, man. I love to do it. I'm still looking at the replay, and I don't think it was hard enough for him to look into the heavens.
Yeah. Hey, and I don't think it'd be hard for her to smile for those millions of dollars. Those millions, if they give her a couple millions, I think she'll smile. You know, all through the broadcast.
I don't know. I'm not the smiley type.
Okay, so I did.
So
see
Rachel,
that
do you understand this? Transcendent Sports is from Philippines. Do you understand what he's wrote on this? I don't know. He's saying, "Tell the champ, kamusta kayo."
Fights dito sa Pilipinas. So basically just asking how we are and
if we have any plans to fight in the Philippines.
Yeah. We're doing good. Kind of crazy in this house, but besides that, like, I mean, of course, if there's a fight that we can get made over there, you know, I know so many countries have been affected by COVID, and bringing some big fights back to the Philippines would be amazing. How many times you fight there? 3 in the Philippines? You did 2 and on.
Yeah. All right, so I'm looking at it in a different angle again.
Oh my God.
I'm just looking at it. Okay, the way, if you're looking at if you
Come
are
on,
looking
Nonito.
at,
Come on, brother. Come on, win it in, brother.
no, if you're
What you
looking at
think?
Wilder, he doesn't look like he threw anything hard at all. But if you look at Helenius, when he got hit, his leg buckled.
Oh, and
So-
that's not one of those things you really can act.
Yeah, so
The
yeah,
leg buckle is hard to
because it was
act.
a perfect timing when he got hit. His leg snapped, his ankle snapped. So
Oh, he did?
I can't say that it's fake or anything like that. But when you're looking at Wilder, it looked like it was just a slap. It wasn't, his body wasn't in it, and I guess it just goes to show how strong of a puncher Wilder is. But if you do look at Helenius, his leg, when it touches, it snapped. You know, his ankle just flipped. So, you know, it looked real to me.
See that?
See
Punch?
that-
You
that-
see that?
Okay, hey, look. But I did the video. I said it was a thunderous right hand. I'm giving Deontay Wilder, like Nonito said, I'm giving Deontay Wilder the benefit of the doubt because he has a freakish power. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. All I'm saying, the way that it looked when I went back and looked at it was like, all right, a dude could get knocked, a dude could get staggered, but that ain't look like a shot that puts you to sleep.
It doesn't. But it's like the front four knuckles hit him
Hey.
directly in the face, and that's
Hey,
what hit him.
you know what that looked like? That looked like me fly swatting when I get flies in the house. You know, I'm just swatting the flies. There's nothing in it, you know, but
Matter of
man.
fact, it looked like a doorknob. Like, you know how you knock on the door? That's exactly how the punch landed.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, his leg, the way he reacted, it was real. But when you look at Wilder's movement, it was like I don't think it was hard enough.
But
you
you
know?
have to have taken a lot of acting classes to get that shit down.
To get it.
And Helenius is a warrior. Like, let's be honest. You know,
What kind of warrior was he? He was running straight in for the right hand.
No, I'm saying no.
What kind of strategy did he fucking
Watch
have?
this. Hey, rap star.
There was
rap
no
star.
warrior about him, bro. He was a sorry
Rap star.
person.
Hey,
He come for a check. He came for a fucking paycheck.
He was a
No, watch
suicide
this.
bomber.
If he's a warrior, bro, I'm giving up boxing.
Hey, no, watch this. Number one,
Stop
no,
the
watch
cap.
this. Hey,
Making
hey, I'm
Deontay Wilder
guaranteeing.
look good over here.
No, watch this. Watch, I'm guaranteeing
and all that, bro.
Helenius, just like a lot of rest of y'all, if you get in the ring with Wilder, number one, you still remembering the Tyson Fury fight. So as soon as you see him do a gimmicky move, you're like, oh yeah, he's still messed up from Tyson Fury. I'm finna have me a pay. I'm finna get it. And then you get knocked the F out.
Yeah,
Because
no,
he might be damaged good.
the more that I'm looking at it too, his momentum coming in there and the way he was breathing when he was on the floor, it indicated that it was a shock to him.
Of course it was, because he could. You know what he came for? He came for the quickest paycheck. Of course, it's a shock for him.
But there's no way that
He knew he was gonna get knocked out, so he said, "Fuck it." He goes, "I'd rather get knocked out in quick than waiting to get knocked out. I'd rather go for it myself."
But-
he didn't want to wait.
But you know what else?
He didn't want to wait for it.
you want to get punished. Why would
Yeah,
you
he
get
didn't want to wait for this. Get this out of here. He said, "Man, I'm done with this guy. I'm getting my money as fast as I can."
But has he ever done that before?
No,
Has,
that-
has he ever done that before? Like, he goes to war is what I'm saying. I looked at his fights, even when he got beat up, is like he's going all the way out, man. He'll down his shield, basically.
So I want to ask this question from Kendall, and I want to ask, maybe Rachel first, then to you, Nonito, and then go around the panel. Is where do you rate Deontay Wilder's power in all-time boxing?
Man, well, she went to go check on the boys right now.
Mm.
That's
Well, I got to respect. I got to respect ladies first, so she's coming first.
yeah. She'll come by, but I think that man, that's tough. That's a tough one because there's a lot in man. I mean, he does have an incredible punch.
Yeah.
I would. He definitely is at one of the top 10. If you look at all the fights, I mean, there's so many. I mean, one of my biggest I'm a big fan of is the Brown Bomber. Joe Louis in his left hook was incredible too. So, it's hard to put perspective together, knowing who the fighters that they fought and who they faced, right? Like back in the days, they were fighting everybody, you know, and now, you know, you got only a handful of people who is really on top of the game, you know. It's hard for me to put it in you know in a thing, but I would probably say right now at the moment a top 10 in at least in the top 10.
Wow. So, yo, Nonito Donaire rates Deontay Wilder maybe in the top 10 of all time punching power. So Deontay Wilder has, the big question is, right? We had a big.
It's only one hand though.
It's only one hand. Now, a big question is, there was a debate, and the debate went on for a couple hours, and everybody who was watching today is watching yesterday, and the debate happened yesterday, and people said that Deontay Wilder's skills are very limited. He's not very skilled. He's more of a boxer, but some people said he does have the skills, because if he didn't have the skills, how could he beat these guys? Does Deontay Wilder have skills, elite skills, or not? Now, a lot of people said no. Some people said yes. What do you think?
I think that if he has a better skill, he would be 100% without a doubt one of the top 10 hard hitter. Because if you look at the punches right now, he's not even using his legs to punch with the punches. He's just throwing it. You know, it's all upper body. You know, and it's snap. It's fast too, and that's what makes it really strong. And he's a, you know, but I don't think he has the boxing skills that we normally see, like, you know, like Lennox Lewis, right? Or Larry Holmes, George Foreman. You know, those guys have phenomenal ring IQ, ring skills.
Yes.
Wilder doesn't. He's off. He's very off. You know, his balance is off here and there. He's just a tremendous puncher, and that's why he's getting away with beating the elites. Is because he has a neutralizer.
So Deontay Wilder's power and heart is probably his best attributes, right? Deontay Wilder's power and his heart and his determination is probably his best attributes.
It's definitely his power. Yes, definitely his power is something that people are very careful in rushing. You know.
What do you think about that, Punch? Because Punch, you said Deontay Wilder does have elite skills. Nonito says he's got skills like a lot of people said he doesn't have elite skills. What do you think about that? I can't hear Punch. I don't know where Punch is. But look,
I don't think he's completely a bum when it comes down to skills. He can move, he can jab well, he can do all that stuff, and he is able to use and get some power into it. You know, it takes a skilled fighter in that way to be able to use that power, right? But in a boxing way, like if you're comparing it to like George Foreman, you know, Ali or Joe Frazier, you know, Lennox Lewis, you know, all these guys. I mean, they had better
ring skills, like ring generalship, IQ, and just understanding when to punch, when not to punch.
And that's what I was just trying to say yesterday, that when we're discussing, you know, boxing, if he could box, which we're comparing him with the greats, not with just a regular. We're not saying Bone Crusher Smith or guys or David Tua, guys like that. If we're gonna compare Deontay Wilder to and compare him if he could box with the Lennox Lewis and the Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali, of course he's gonna come short. He's gonna come short to that. But does he have the boxing skills to put himself in position to learn? I mean, to land a punch that everybody and their mama knows he's gonna go for, and they still get put down by that same punch. It's gonna take skills for you to put your footwork to put yourself in position to land those shots and to set that up.
100%. I feel like there is that timing that he's able to learn and you know allow him to win a lot of the fights, is because he's able to understand that type of logic.
Exactly.
I knew it.
What would you like to see next for Deontay Wilder, Nonito?
Hey, I thought you were finna pass to punching power round.
Oh, go on. Oh yeah, what's the punching power? What do you want to talk about, D Calico?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, you know, as of right now, like he's number one. He's number one, you know, based on what I said earlier. That, you know, everybody he's ever gotten a ring with, they've tasted the canvas. You know what I mean? So even if you beat him, he knocking you down, like that's dangerous. You know what I mean? This guy is the hardest puncher that I, you know, we probably ever seen. You know, before him, I would have said George Foreman. And if you could put somebody on top of George Foreman, be my guest. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Big George is definitely up there.
So if I asked you in the top 10 heavyweights, when I say who got power, are we talking about people like George Foreman? Are we talking about people like Ernie Shavers? Are we talking about people with the power of Mike Tyson? I mean, these people had power. So where would Deontay Wilder actually achieves himself in the top 10? He's amongst the greats when it comes to power. That's without a doubt. But, you know, does that help him going forward now? Like, you know, at his age, don't you need a bit more than power sometimes going forward at 37, 38 years old in the heavyweight game? It's dangerous, isn't it?
Definitely. You have to be an all around type of fighter. I mean, you know, and that's why he can't get past Fury, because Fury has a better knowledge, understanding of speed, distance, counter, and all this other ring generalship that you know that Fury does. You know, I mean, he's, you know, it's it just goes to show that you may have all the power in the world, you know, but when you can't land it, it's, you know, it's not you won't win the fight. And also, you know, you gotta give credit to I mean, he's dropped everybody, right? And he's dropped Fury, and Fury came out like the Undertaker, you know. That's how much power that he does possess. You know, imagine if he does have the IQ like the Klitschko in using the range, and Lewis, you know, in using the range and the jab to set up, you know, and using the proper body mechanics.
Yeah. And you know what, champ? It's nice to have you over here, man, because the other day, you know, we were finding out, right, that, you know, there's been a lot of controversy in my country after Conor Ben. And Mayweather came out there saying that he was the first guy to do the VADA, and he was one of the guys to push this testing upon himself. But we found out that you were one of the first guys to start approaching VADA and having VADA testing, and wanted VADA testing for most of your fights. Is that true? Were you one of the first guys who had that VADA testing or Olympic
Actually,
style?
I was the first guy who did it.
So can everybody know the facts? Because Mayweather's saying that he's the first guy. Floyd Mayweather's telling everyone that he's the first guy, but I told people you're the first guy. Can you tell us?
I was the first all year round,
24/7.
24/7. They can come in at any time, anywhere. You know, I was the first one to enroll in that, and none of the fighters would do it.
Floyd only did it for his fights. It's completely different.
Yeah, it's a completely
And
different.
he
He's
didn't use
never
VADA.
done.
He's
He's
used
never
VADA.
done. Yeah, he's never. I don't think he's ever done a 24/7, 365.
Can you explain to the casuals and the hardcores, and especially the fans, what's the difference between 24/7 VADA or Olympic style testing then compared to USADA and UCAD? So that everybody understands, because I know it. I know the difference, because the other programs are very lenient. The other programs, I've already explained, and I've split the facts that you can get away with different kind of ways of doing things because they're very lenient in testing you. Can you explain your testing and the difference between most of the fighters of what they're doing, please?
Well, at least for my testing, I've done 24/7. Again, anytime, any place. If I went to a different country, I have to let them know where I'm staying, how long I'm staying for, you know, and every, you know, time. If I'm going anywhere else, I have to let them know, because you know, they can come in at any time, you know, and it was like that every day. They come in at any moment. And the difference with other testing, she can
Yeah, but
expand
are
by
they allowed
herself.
to come? Because in UCAD and USADA, I'm hearing that they're not allowed to come from 11 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. till 7 in the morning. Are they allowed to come anytime with you?
Anytime.
Yeah, anytime. That's that's why it's
Wow.
3 for 7 for me, because they could come in at any time.
And what's really strict is we're only allowed to miss an athlete can miss a sample collection once within a year period. If we miss twice within a year period, then you're out of the program. It's not one of these like they just roll it off and be like, you should be there. No,
Yeah.
so I was looking up what you were saying, and there was an article that basically, listed out that that Mayweather was the first one to use USADA for his fight, but not 24/7, 365.
Right.
So I mean, I guess
Right.
it's just in the context, right? Like
Yeah.
if he's saying that he's the first boxer to demand random drug testing through camp for a fight, then yes, very specifically yes. But is he
Okay.
the first boxer to voluntarily, because that's what VADA is, VADA, voluntarily submit themselves to 24/7, 365? The answer is no.
Right. Now, let me ask this. I've been reading a lot of rules and stuff, and somebody told me behind the scenes that even with any testing, doping agencies, if you miss the test with a valid reason, they give you two warnings, and the third is a strike. Is that something that you know about?
I've never missed a test, so I cannot
Because we all know.
I cannot speak of any of that rules happening for me, because I've never missed a test.
Gotcha. So look, at the end of the day, the 24/7 testing seems like the real vigorous testing, whereas the other doping agencies, for me, seem like a different program altogether. Now, would you agree that the 24/7 is the most highest testing and the most vigorous in boxing?
I believe so, because there's no room for preparation. There's no room for cleaning your system, because it's at any moment.
So, do you know any fighters who are on that program that you can share with us that you know are enrolled to these kind of programs like yourself?
I'm not sure who's ever done it.
What, the other boxers?
Yeah.
I don't know who's in there right now. I mean, I know
the 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to look, but I know, like, there's ones that weren't technically voluntary, right? Like, because they were sanctioned, like people like Canelo, Valdez, they all like that was kind of like their penance, right? Like, you have to be, if this fight's going to go through, then you have to enroll and not miss a test and not positive within the next year. But I'm sure there's other fighters. I just don't know who they are. They're usually they usually say it like, like loud and proud that it's because it's not something that promoters are normally willing to pay for.
So, Nonito, one of our legends, Chris Eubanks Sr., has been very vocal, and he says that they try to drain his son 3 pounds more than he's ever been at 33 years old. Not to mention the controversy of Conor Benn getting popped for being dirty with clomidopine, I think it is, or some kind of a drug that enables you to know that you've had some kind of steroids in the fight. Conor Benn.
I'm saying the drug was Clomid that he got caught with.
Okay, Clomid. So it just seems to us right now, the father's saying that this was a very, how can he say? He said they tried to murder his son. He's saying that he's coming after Eddie Hearn and Cal Sauerland, that he says these promoters, young promoters, have no understanding and respect for fighters. First, they're draining a fighter at 3 pounds less. Then they know about a drug test, and they're pushing the British Boxing Board of Control to make this fight and keep it behind the scenes, and they were making these fights. Non-disclosure situations. So what do you think about that, Nonito?
I mean, in making the weight, that's the fighter's, understanding and his discretion, but to hide the fact that something has popped and try to keep going with it. I mean, that's a big disrespect on the human being's life. I mean, we put our life into it, and he has all the right to be mad about it.
Yeah, and he is very, very upset about it because he says these young promoters, he calls them young promoters, that he says they have no respect for these fighters, that they're trying to make a fight while one guy's been popped dirty and his own son is being drained, and they're pushing 5-6 million pounds in the other kid's face, and he's still agreeing to fight the guy as long as they don't disclose this.
I mean, they're promoters, and all they look at is the business, and that's what promoters do, But as a trainer and as a father and as anything that's related to your fighter, you got to protect your fighter, because sometimes the fighter is sometimes has a greater ego to fight, and not look at the consequences.
But would you do that if they said to you, look, the other guys, we're going to go through the process. We got to get the lawyers involved. We don't know if these things he's took will enable him in the fight. But if you're willing to fight, will you? We're still willing to make the fight. Would you?
You're asking the person that will never back out on a fight. So yes, I would definitely fight, and this is why she's behind me, because she's always going to protect me. Because for me,
so
I don't really care if you take something. I train for the fight. I'm gonna go out there, and I still believe that I'm gonna beat you. That's just how I work.
And this is why you need a manager, and you need good people around you, who can do the due diligence around you, who can make sure everything's great so that you're not getting cheated.
100%.
And just to hear that from you, I don't blame Chris Eubanks Jr. Because now I realize that he trained so long for that fight. He was getting life-changing money, and he said, okay, I'll take the fight. And, he's getting slandered for it. But Nonito says, as a fighter, it's a fighter's mentality.
Yeah.
When you're right at the last point and they're going to let you still fight, do you blame the fighter that he's still willing to fight? That's his bread and butter. It is what it is. And, how do you feel about other fighters, though, who do cheat? Do you think they should be, there's not big penalties? There is not.
I think that's the biggest thing that people need to change, is because it needs to be a severe punishment where people are afraid to make or even attempt cheating.
Yeah, I understand. And, thanks for your, views on that, because it is a very delicate situation, especially when lawsuits are going on right now. And we don't really know what's going on, because they say you're not guilty until proven guilty. You know?
And the thing is, it's very difficult to find being guilty when there's so many science now to hide the dirtiness, so
you're playing catch up.
it's very difficult to people are going to try to get away from it, and honestly, a lot of the athletes, not just boxers, a lot of the athletes from all sports has been doing it for years.
Yeah, we got one of our friends here from Boston. How you doing, Mike?
Yeah, what's up, man?
We got the champ here, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, good to talk to you, man. I'm a big fan. I've been watching for a lot of years.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. What I wanted to say though, if I could just jump in real quick, just about this Conor Benn situation. I'm not sure if people fully understand, but what he got caught with, well, the drug that they found in his system it's a drug. It's called Clomid. It's something that people use after they do a cycle of steroids. So what it does is it maintains your body's natural testosterone production. So like after you do a cycle of steroids, your natural testosterone production is going to be out of whack because you've had all this artificial stuff. And the Clomid comes in and kind of evens stuff out. So basically what this means is the fact that they found the Clomid in the system, it means that he was on something else prior to that we don't know about because he didn't get caught with it, but it shows that this guy uses steroids. I mean, just as a former, I mean, I'm a former PED user myself, and I've taken Clomid, so I know exactly what it's used for. But I mean, I think that it's very telling when you find something like that in someone's system because it shows the guys just there's no other reason why you take that drug unless you were coming off of a cycle of PEDs. I mean, there's no other way to look at it.
Yep, 100%. You know, and that's something that I've read and researched myself. You know, how when people are popped with it, especially a male, it's because it's to regulate their testosterone from the use of you know, because when they do get into that PEDs, it whacks the whole system. And like a few of the people that I know who's done all that stuff, they can't pop, they can't use their testosterone, they don't build testosterone anymore. And usually from what I heard is allowing people to, when they use it, is getting their system back in order. That's pretty much what it is. And but because like you said, is because prior to that they have been using substance to
exactly.
Well, you know, Mike, thanks for sharing with us. You know, it takes a brave person to always agree that, you know, you've took steroids. And,
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't an athlete when I just put it out there. I wasn't competing in any sports. This is when I was in college, just lifting weights. You know, thought it was, tough guy and all that. But I do have experience with it. So I thought it was just when I saw that come up, that I saw that particular drug on his, associated with him. It just said, okay, well, this is a guy who is probably a regular user. You know, he takes steroids, and then when it's time to come off his cycle, he takes Clomid like everyone else.
Well, let's ask no one better than, you know, Rachel, first being a manager, then being, you know, part trainer, and also the wife of her, you know, her husband has to fight. And some of the people, you know, her husband has to fight. He's on a 24/7 program. But obviously, you know, they got to make a living. How do you feel about it, Rachel? You know, people are saying that they don't get no hefty bans. Olympians get 4-year bans. Why don't boxers who cheat? Isn't boxing a sport that you could kill someone if you cheat too much? I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, but the thing
Rachel?
is that there's so many people that are making money.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to time out someone.
It's usually
like
a
that.
slap in
like,
the hand.
So can you let's rewind. Can you imagine any promoter, commission, sanctioning body, anyone that's involved with Canelo lose their ability to make money for the next year or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years?
They'll be losing billions.
Exactly. Like that's the thing, is that, you know, the Olympic sport isn't it isn't built on profit margin. When it's built on profit margin, then the your intention and what should be right, what should be morally and ethically right, gets thrown out the window, because it comes down to answering to your investors and the board of directors why you don't have the profit margin that was projected.
Yeah. So do you think that the fines or some, you know, the bans should be hefty so that the young generation could know that this is serious?
Yeah.
I 100% believe that. I mean, for me, I'm not afraid of it because I've never really done anything, you know. But for those that have been using it, I mean, I think our lives are always in the line. Things can happen, you know, and I think that it needs to be severe enough for them to be fearful of making that decision to take something.
Yeah, there's no fear at this point. They're like, oh, what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit me out for 6 months or 3 months. That's the amount of time between two fights, between a fight anyway. So is that really a big deal?
Yeah, and you know, Chris Eubanks, he said, look, don't ask anybody else. Ask me. Ask me how tough boxing is. Ask Michael Watson, who was a world champion, who's in a wheelchair for most of his life. Ask Gerald McKellen, who's one of the pound for pound fighters who ended up blind. And this is what he said to these interviewers. He said, don't tell me that I'm relieved. He goes, relieved is a stupid word. He goes, what this it's it's controversy at its finest. You're allowing a fight to happen, knowing that a fighter is taking illegal substance.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, Rachel, that's bad managing from Chris Eubank's side. That's bad managing from the promoter. Even sorry, the promoter pushing his fighter to still make the fight. I mean, this is some wrongdoing.
No, and they're all accomplices. I mean, honestly, like let's just. I mean, the fight's not happening, so let's put it in a hypothetical situation. If Eubanks Jr. ended up in the hospital and died, okay, could we actually and we found out there was this dirty, drug test. Could there be grounds for second-degree murder and accomplices?
Wow.
Why wouldn't there be? You knew about it. You helped cover it. That makes you a damn accomplice.
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, you put it that way, but it makes so much sense. It is.
People think that they could wash their hands out of things that, again, we are at this point. It never happened, but what if it does? Because I will guarantee you that if any fighter that I manage that ends up ever happening that I didn't know, but knew after the fact of my fighters passing, I'd be throwing lawsuits left and damn right and putting people, not just civil lawsuits, but criminal, and putting people to jail who knew about it and hid it.
That's deep. That's deep. And to be really honest with you, you can't speak about a family member how they speak about their fighter, because that's their son. That's somebody's family member.
Even more so.
Yeah. And it's hard for the fans to say anything, because when a father's saying that you try to do that to my son, I'm going to come for you. I mean, a fan would say, well, we still want to watch the fight because we're fans, right? But,
yes.
As boxing fans, though, let's be honest, did we really care that Roy Jones Jr. got caught with steroids? Nah, we still were happy with seeing the fights. We didn't really care about James Toney. I'm not saying we didn't care. He wasn't attached to us. We weren't connected with them,
Yeah.
These were people that we just want to see fight. So as fans, they have a different opinion about it, because when I really did a live the other day, and I did some kind of a question and answers to the fans, and I said, look, let's be honest, would you still watch the fight? And everybody said yes, they would.
Yeah, and that's the most unfortunate thing. But at the same time, they're fans of the fans, and that's why there has to be people to watch out for the other people or for their people.
Yep.
Yeah, what I've noticed? The fans are really into boxing, just want to see brutal sport.
We're built that way,
Yeah. We're not built in a way to really feel for a fighter, because that makes us feel like, I'm sorry to say, when, boxing fans are different kind of fans. They're not golf fans. They're not these other kind of fans of different, like bowling and different kind of sports, because these boxing fans, they come with this kind of mentality. Most of them come from the street anyway. So we all have this mentality that we want to see blood, sweat, and tears. Yep. So yeah, boxing fans do say in the beginning, yeah, man, that's wrong. I had a lot of fans come over here and say, yeah, man, Conor Ben's wrong, man. Man, do you know what? But yeah, but they were like, we're pissed off, man. The fight's not happening. Fuck Conor Ben, man. He fucked up boxing, man.
Yeah.
Not because he's on steroids. He's fucked up the whole night.
Yeah.
We want to see the fight. Fucking give them both steroids. We don't care.
But that's the nature of boxing and the fans, Yeah. And that's why it's very important for all the up and comers to have somebody to protect them who is willing to voice out, because if you're always gonna be there to entertain and always listen to what people are gonna tell you, guess what? You're gonna have a hell of a career of whatever you're gonna go through, because at the end of the day, they're not gonna be there for you.
Yeah, we didn't listen to Punch the first time we heard him.
No, I understand. But we also, some of us have become very kind of, when you get into boxing, it's all about what's the facts? What's the facts? And what do you see as the truth? And your eyes don't lie to you, right? So we have all these discussions lately. Like after Conor Ben, like we love Manny Pacquiao. And I'm sorry to say this because I know Nonito Donaire, you like Manny Pacquiao, you look up to him. But at the end of the day, the man is an 8-weight world champion coming from 106. And most of his fights, he's requested not to be drug tested. It's out there. Everything's
He
out
was
there.
afraid of needles.
No, and even if he was afraid of needles, what we're saying is people also got a valid opinion that look, boxing makes exceptions for fighters.
I'm afraid of needles, man, but I gotta do it because that's just how I am, so
Yeah, but look,
I mean,
even Keith Thurman, opted to not be drug tested for that fight. What we're saying is boxers and boxing promoters and managers and TV networks, they make exceptions for fighters to make the fights. We're not stupid. But even though they're legendary fighters and they got such skills, not everybody was taking the 24/7 test like Nonito Donaire did, and not everybody even did it like Mayweather. We got to say that not everybody's doing what you're doing. We're not
and
born
that
yesterday.
most unfortunate thing, is because it's very important. It's very important for the sport, but it's unfortunate that everybody. I mean, boxing is a very selfish sport.
Everyone's going to do whatever path and legacy that they feel is important to them. And, I think that's one of the biggest key factors is, people are always going to question, I guess the people who are naysayers of Pacquiao or any of the other fighters that refuse to take it. There's always going to be a question in people's minds, right? It's written in history. It's in all the news reports that, he didn't want to take testing. So it's up to the fighter what legacy they want to leave behind. Do they want to leave it questioned? We opt to not leave it questioned. And when he decides to exit the sport, it's exited with an unblemished drug testing record.
And I got to give it to you, 24/7 testing is not easy. They can come to you anytime, any place, and you got to be prepared to just be able to work with them voluntary. It's something even boxing doesn't ask you to do unless the boxer puts his hands up and say, I'm willing to do it. So I got to respect you guys for, opting for that for those programs, because not everybody's doing that. And it just shows us today that there's a lot of different loopholes in boxing. And, I got to keep it real. I'm a big fan of my British boxing, but I feel like some of it has been exposed. And most of us are a little bit disappointed, but we just want to watch the fights and we don't really want to get into the politics of it. So it just is what it is. Does boxing look bad? Well, a little bit, but then every sport, to be honest, is worse. When you look at every other sport, they're not an angel. Most sports are cheating and doing some kind of I don't know, ways to get around stuff or ways to get around tests. We've listened to doctors. Doctors have said if you look at the USADA and the UCAD program, there's many ways to take different drugs, and you'll be clean by Wednesday because there's scientific drugs there that clean your system. You can take something and use something, and they won't be able to find it. But so those things are available.
That's why there's a lot of people that's been doing it, and they can't. Sometimes if they do it the right timing, they don't get popped.
Well, the thing is, though, so they'll create a drug and then they won't be detectable, and they'll give it to someone for like a year, and then they don't know behind the scenes that it's already on, VADAs, USADAs, whatever, on their radar. And the unfortunate part is that batch that they think is not the unfortunate part. The fortunate part for us, but the unfortunate part for the boxer that decided to take these undetectable steroids has an expiration date, because science is going to catch up. And then when you had that, like that batch, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll be good because it says undetectable, but you don't know that the testing agencies are hot on your trail, and then eventually that they have the biomarkers to find exactly what you're taking, and you take it, you're like, you told me this is undetectable. It's like, nah, bro, that was last year's model. I got some new designer stuff that they don't know about. You know, it's like this ever cycling playing catch up. Like I said, it's like COVID right now. You know, it's like the very first what is it, rapid antigen test don't even test for the new variants that are out right now, and it's ever changing, and it's just us playing catch up. But the thing is these boxers, of course, the agencies are not going to say, hey, guess what, we have a test for what you're taking, and we're going to catch you next time. They just get caught, and then that's it. They don't know what to say at that point, because it was let's just say it was undetectable for 8 months.
Yeah, man, look, it is what it is. It's very scientific these days as well. Money can buy you different kind of drugs before even the agencies have got it on their list.
Yes.
There's pharmaceuticals, doctors working behind the scenes. There's always they're working ahead of the time. So, of course, there's always a loophole. There's a catch-22. But I just want to ask you guys the current topics that we were talking about, and they were, I don't know how you feel about this, but did you watch the Devin Haney versus George Kambosos fight?
Yes. But we watched it on mute.
Right. Well, maybe that's the best way to watch a fight.
Oh, we don't. Well, you have to understand that it's Saturday. I have kids running around the house. They're playing cartoons and screaming at each other. The last thing I need is someone blaring commentary that I don't also agree with and trying to sway my decision. There was like, what is it, clinch stats and all this kind of BS that I'm like, dude, I didn't hear about that till after the fight. And I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't hear that, because since when are we starting to, count clinches? Why didn't we count Kambosos' low blows? Why didn't we count headbutts? Why didn't we, this is the dumbest stat that I've ever freaking heard.
And there was a lot of, blatant headbutts. How do you not see that?
Yeah. So, as far as Devin Haney, he did really well. And, for me, he was dominant in that fight. And he did really, he hurt Kambosos a couple of times. He made his face go red and everything. And he tried his hardest to really stop him. But he couldn't stop him. But, he won that fight, clearly. He feels very, very, upset about him not get recognized and him not being the pound for pound. He didn't bring his Ring Magazine belt. His father was heard in the back. People were joking about it. I don't know if you guys heard it.
Yeah, we caught it when you guys were talking about it.
Yeah, people were not joking, but they were saying that, his dad was saying, finish him. And he was saying, I can't do it, Daddy. I can't do it, Daddy. I can't finish him
I can't
right
do
now,
it,
Dad.
Daddy.
Okay, baby. I'm sorry. I can't with rap stars like accent. Can you say it Oakland?
No. Can't.
I can't.
Can you do
I
it?
can't do it, Daddy.
I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? But
I can't do it, Daddy.
Can't do it, Daddy.
No, but look, he's not getting recognized in the pound for pound. He tried to put a shutout performance. Devin Haney's not getting recognized in the boxing world. It's not us as boxing channels. It's not us as boxing media. It's the people who are the boxing Iraqis. They're not putting him in pound for pounds, even though I recognize him as a pound for pound in the 10 or number 9. Boxing don't recognize him in pound for pound because he's not putting out shutout performances. He's not stopping people. What do you think about this?
I've never really cared too much. Too much about the pound per pound. I've always just been the type of person to go out there and win fights as much as I can. And they placed me in there. For him, there's so many fighters out there that can be done in his performance of not being. He was dominating, but it wasn't in the level of domination that people expect him to do. And that's pretty much what the pound per pound is all about, is the expectation of people of how good they are. And that includes stopping the fighters.
There really isn't like an actual system on deciphering it. You know, it'd be different if for example, you're like, okay, so this guy has fought this competition, that guy is worth this many points, and this guy is worth this many points, and that guy, and if he moves up a division, he gets plus 10 points. There is no calculation at all. It's a bunch of people voting.
Yeah, but he still takes it to heart because he didn't bring his ring magazine. They keep asking him the question. And the first thing he even said on his post-fight, I hope they recognize me on pound for pound. Like, he tried to do the knockout. And he himself recognizes Rachel. And let me tell you something, Rachel. Just like we know you, we know the Haney's behind the scenes. And we've had these conversations. And, you know, they've even said, look, we are also going in for the knockout. Do you know what I mean, Rachel? And it's not like they don't recognize that if they're a better fighter, they know they're a better fighter. You can see the punch placement, and you can see Devin Haney. He's a better fighter, and he just doesn't have the power. You know, he don't have the power. He's a better fighter, but he doesn't have the power, and it's kind of like at a point where he tried to get the knockout as well, and I feel like it's something that he understands that, you know, he doesn't get recognized for being that dominant.
No, boxing as a science is different from knockouts. So, I mean, if we're going to do boxing as a science and having like the top 10 knockout artists, then those are two separate lists. But like I said, there's nothing to separate what we're talking about at all. And if he is yearning for some type of affirmation as to who he is in the sport, I say he's talking about the wrong direction. Like, just keep doing your work. Screw anyone else that's saying, because, you know, everyone said before he was going over to Kambosos, he was going to get killed, right? That was like the talk. And so why give a shit? Because these writers and these people that are going to judge left or right, either way, they will, their thoughts sway as more times that they change their underwear. Who cares? Do it for yourself. Do it for your legacy. You don't have anything to prove to them and be like, hey, like, it's like, hey man, why am I not in your top 5 friends in MySpace? Like, who cares? It doesn't matter. Just keep doing.
Yeah, but he cares. Devin Haney does care.
He shouldn't.
He wouldn't have said it. He wouldn't have said that.
No, you know, I get it, and that's a young ass type of thinking. That's crap. Like, how many followers do I have on Instagram? Kind of.
But that's his generation, though.
I completely agree, and I think it's stupid.
And you know, this is why he feels like that. Let me tell you why he feels like this. When Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko, right? Teofimo Lopez was in every place and every platform as a number 5, number 6 pound for pound fighter. Yes, he beat the number 3, number 2 pound for pound guy. Not many people thought he would, but he did. Now, when he lost to Kambosos, truly, Kambosos beat the man who beat the man. Isn't that how boxing works? It does work like that, right? So he beat the man who beat the man. But Kambosos, they said they didn't give him the respect. They said this was a man from Australia got lucky because they felt that Kambosos beat Teofimo at his worst day. And, you know, doctors from ESPN came out and said Teo wasn't at his best health, right? So we understood that. Boxing fans never gave him that respect. But when Devin Haney won all the belts, he never got the respect because he beat the man who beat the man who beat the man. So why is it not working the way it's supposed to work?
I think that it's how the person market themselves, right? Teofimo came in there, did all this flamboyant things, and people love that, you know, doing dancing and flipping and all this other stuff, you know, and everybody was so hyped on him, you know, and he's an incredible fighter. But when he beat the man who everybody was running over, you know, and beat him the way he did, you know, and made him show fear in all the fights we've seen him. He's always been dominating, you know. Lomachenko's always been dominating, and there was never ever fear have shown in you know in his fighting. But when he faced Tio, there was fear that was or cautiousness that was shown blatantly. You know, it was very clear as day that he was very cautious of Teofimo's power, and the way he did it and the way Teofimo was coming up, there was a lot of notoriety, or there was a lot of eyes, and there was a lot of expectation, you know. And then all of a sudden you get a guy who beat the man who beat the man, but there was no expectation. You know, life is all about expectation. In people's eyes, it's always about expectation. When people have some expectation, then they would create a storyline in their head, and that's what that with Haney, the way he wasn't stopping people, there was no expectation of how great he could be. Now people could say he can box really well, but you know, it wasn't something that people feared or fighters feared. You know, with Tio, the way he went and fought Lomachenko, when Lomachenko was beating everybody else, there was fear, or there was a cautiousness in Lomachenko, you know, that they've never seen, and therefore the assumption and the well, how do you say, the expectation was created for Tio to be this superstar.
And you're very right about that, because Teofimo Lopez had a lot of expectations. Now, when Teofimo Lopez became a champion and took all this, you know, that he was going to be one of these greatest fighters coming up as a young guy, following the footsteps of a lot like people like yourself, coming up and trying to dominate a lot of stuff. People had a lot of expectations on Teofimo Lopez. And now Tio's in a tough spot, because even the fight with him and Pedraza, they're saying this is a backward step. Because for Teofimo Lopez, they had him up so high that the people he's fighting just to get himself in contention, a lot of fans are not very excited with Teofimo Lopez's fights. Now, he's in a tough spot because, you know, he was a guy that put himself up there. So sometimes winning's too much too quick, and not handling it to be a champion can go against you. What do you think about that?
I think so. I mean, again, all of it is expectation of what and how you bring people in, you know, and that's just how it's gonna be. I mean, you're gonna see things, you're gonna see people going as high and then drop and disappear. You know, there's just so many things like that, is because people play the hype, you know, and what happens is they dig themselves deeper if they're not performing according to what people expect them to do, you know. And that's the most unfortunate thing for kids coming into the game, and you know, like Haney becoming being the undisputed, you know, it's a lot to play, you know. And if he plays the game, and this is why he doesn't accept not being in the pound per pound, is because of the fact that he is undisputed in his mind. He thinks he's the best, and you know, and he felt disrespected in that way.
Well, the problem is, you know, people boxing analyze too much. Like I told you, the man who beat the man, beat the man, beat the man, beat the man. They're not giving respect to a man in the middle.
Yeah.
And this is why they're saying there's many fighters in his division which they feel are better than him. One of them being Lomachenko. Lomachenko's come out openly saying that he wants to fight now. But he's going to fight someone, and if he beats that guy, he wants to fight for undisputed. Then you got people like Tank Davis, the Ryan Garcias. There is people out there who could, you know, who have power in their hands. So fans are just that way, you know. They're not giving Devin Haney the full respect. But Devin Haney is, right now, the best in the world at that weight class. You can't take that away from him.
100%. And that's the thing about the human mind, the human psyche, and that people don't, you know, we have such expectation, and we compare expectation and try to balance things out, to see and justify things in our mind to our assumption to make it completely right for ourselves, you know. And this is why people are always gonna have argument about something, and people are always gonna have assumption of something, you know, especially with the fight, is because that's just how our mind works. That's how our psyche works, you know. And this is why people are sometimes, like, for instance, an example would be Mayweather, right? People are gonna hate him, but watch him fight somebody who they think can beat him, which generates a lot of money for him, you know. And they, if they like him, they're gonna watch him, you know. But that's pretty much where it all comes down to. And again, in the perspective of people, Haney doesn't pose that traditional I guess, what would I say this, Haney doesn't have that vision or that image of being the best fighter, because he's not able to stop somebody, or he's not able to be dominant in the way people want them to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. So it's just today we're living in a society that sweet science of boxing, there is respect for it, but it's not respect for it if you're not dominating your fight to dropping them, or at least showing that you're giving some excitement to the fans, or trying to knock them out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
100%.
this is the kind of people that people love. They love people like yourself, who's willing to go out on the shield or even go down.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what people love, man. People love these kind of fighters who are willing to take that risk. You're not in boxing to play tippy-tappy. This is what fans do. Fans are like that, man. They're more like that.
Yeah.
Man. And you know, fans are like, you know, boxers out there not to be so safe. You know, but then we realize that Devin Haney isn't trying to be so safe. Devin Haney is trying to knock his opponent out. He tried today. He just doesn't have the power. Like everybody isn't gifted with power. You know, maybe he does want that knockout. He did try. He just couldn't get it off. So maybe he does need to use his skills more, and he just needs to use what he's best at, because not every fighter is gifted that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think he is gifted.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of his timing in finding Kambosos, you know, because he there was more of a, it's not so much of this defensive stance, but there's cautiousness of why he wasn't throwing the punches to take Kambosos out. You know, when Kambosos was hurt, he didn't go out there to kill him. He was there to see him, and maybe he can knock him out. You know, like, if I hurt somebody, I'm gonna go out there regardless if you're gonna hit me, and you know, I'm gonna go out there and be run out of breath to take you out. You know, because I know I hurt you. That's the difference between somebody who's out there to take somebody out, or somebody who is just looking to see if he can do it.
I hear you. But look, my main concern now, before I do go in soon, is I want to ask you a couple of questions. Is, you know, we know that Paul Butler has been announced to fight Naoya Inoue.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. Yeah, Paul Butler comes from my side of the world. Yeah, but I believe that even today, if you had fought Paul Butler, I got you winning in that fight right now. Now, I don't know if I feel like that you can beat him right now, only because I feel that, you know, he's good. I'm not going to deny Paul Butler, but what chances do you give Paul Butler versus Monster Inoue?
If Paul Butler used the right movement, the right direction, and the right punches, I think he can keep himself out of harm's way. The only reason is because I tested all out. The first time I tested out where his weaknesses were. The second time I tested out where I put myself in vulnerability to where the position that I can take him, but he got me. So I know where to go in this moment in time. Although I don't have the right to say for another rematch, but I'm going to align myself to get there, you know. But my point is, I know the weakness where I can go and be vulnerable. At the same time, I know where he is vulnerable.
Got ya. Now I'm gonna ask you a question that that when I watched your fight, the second fight versus Naoya Inoue, after first knockdown. Now this is my opinion. I felt like you wasn't yourself, and me watching you for years, I felt either you were concussed or there was something missing because the way you kept coming forward as well, I knew you were too smart to be in a situation like that. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but did you feel something that I'm saying is something that you will? Is that something that you would agree with?
100%. I mean, going to the fight, there was a lot of things that went behind it, but it's not important for me to
You
say.
never
But
make excuses, but this has been a long time now, and you
yeah,
never ever made excuses, and
I would never. I would
I
never.
admire you for that, But come on, I've watched boxing. I've watched you for years.
Right.
You
I mean,
would
again,
just look. I'm gonna keep it real.
right,
As
right. But I mean,
as
there's
a man,
issues.
I don't blame anybody else in that fight. But no, I'm gonna be as a man. I know Rachel did not tell you to do what you were doing.
We
I
boxed
just
well,
feel
right?
like
In sparring.
this was you doing something that you were doing.
So in sparring, we were supposed to box, right? We were supposed to box, and we did great, amazing sparring. I mean, it was just tremendous how we boxed and not get touched, and we were planning to go in that way, and then when you plan things out, sometimes it doesn't happen before going into the ring. But when I did get hit inside that ring, I was gone. I didn't know what the fuck happened. And for me, in that moment, probably it was kill me or I kill you. There was nothing else beyond me that would speak otherwise, because that's just my personality. When I go into automation, is I'm gonna go for your life, but in doing so, I put myself in harm's way. And definitely was not me. But I mean, I gotta give it to him. He did pop me in that particular time and timing that brought me to that disadvantage. But I mean, again, it's something that I know it was not my best in a way that that had led me there. But kudos to him. I think he's an amazing fighter.
And I respect that, but you also understand that there was something that happened after that knockdown that you want yourself. Did you felt concussed in any way?
Oh, I was very concussed. I didn't know. I didn't even know I got dropped. So all I know is I looked into my corner. I'm like, why is this dude counting me? And I look at Ray. She was telling me to put my hands up. So I put my hands up, and in that corner, they were telling me all this other stuff. And I did not hear a single thing that they said in that corner. All I saw was just like, man, how the hell did I get dropped? That was all in my head. How the hell did I get dropped? And I just kept looking into the TV to see how it happened. And I wanted to do it to him. It was just automation for me. It was just me being a fighter rather than me being a smart and experienced guy. It was just being I was just automatic. It was just an automatic reaction for me. But yeah, I was definitely concussed.
To be fair with you, yeah, and this is me being just somebody who's seen you fight. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I didn't like seeing you taking those punches. Like you were taking punches that, to me, I said to myself, nah. I don't know what happened. I said, you look slow right now. Okay? And you took some punches. And I know Rachel must have been pissed.
Oh yeah, she was really fucking pissed. I mean, my team knows exactly what happened going into it, but again, it was that particular part of me that was just a fighter. I mean, like you said, all the people that supported me didn't like that. Even when I look at it, I'm like, damn, that's fucked up, but it is what it is. That's just how I am as a fighter. I fight. When I can't think anymore, when I no longer have the ability to think, I'm just gonna go out there, right? It's either you kill me or I'm just gonna get it's either I get equal. That's just how my mind worked. And me and Rach, after that, we talked. Me and my missus talked about it, and we made a condition. The next time that I do get in the ring, I have to show up inside, in the training camp.
No, that condition wasn't for 12 hours after we had that talk, though. You had actually quit.
Yeah. Well, me and her talked, right? And I said, the first thing that I told her, I'm like, I'm sorry for losing. I know that we came here to win, and I was very confident to win, but unfortunately, didn't go the way we wanted it to. And so me and her talked alone, and she said that I'm not disappointed, but I'm concerned. I don't want to ever see you get hurt like that. And in that moment, I actually told her, I'm like, okay, I will call it quits. And I talked to my guys. We sat down, and I said, this is it for me, guys. This is it for me. But obviously, after a couple hours or a few hours, I had the realization that was not me. That wasn't me.
Exactly how I felt about you.
That wasn't me. And I mean, I can go on and on of what went on and all this other stuff, but I don't want to take anything from what he has done. I think that he deserves all the respect and all the victory.
No,
so
I appreciate that. It's been a long time. You never ever spoke about it that way. It's nice to hear a few things, because I kind of analyzed it, and I felt that there was some concussion in there, and I felt that you kept coming forward. Now, can I ask Rachel, at that point, Rachel, did you knew something was wrong, or did you also felt that like we were, like you was a bit surprised?
No, it looks like I thought it was just a flash knockdown, right? And a minute would have given him enough time to, recollect and go forward. But in hindsight, if I had known that when he sat in that chair he wasn't going to hear me, I would have, like I said, I would have just told him.
Oh, he didn't even hear you?
No, babe. Did you hear anything I said?
Nope. All the guys, I guess, from my my cut man Michael Basil and everybody else in the corner, they were telling me to box, move around. They were telling me, feint, use your feint to get him off, because he's still fearful of you. He's not just gonna come in there. But I didn't hear a single word from them at all. For me, I was just so focused in how the hell did I go down, and I was just kind of floating at that time. So yeah, I was definitely concussed because I couldn't hear a single thing that they were telling me to do.
Wow. So look, I just want to say this. Everybody just smash this like button. This is exclusive right now. We've not heard it. And this is only for the intellectual of your boy Rapstar Boxing. I'll ask different questions. And this is a friend of mine now. I can honestly say the Donaires are friends of Rapstar. And you guys, I gotta tell you guys have to support their channel. You guys gotta support the Donaires. And
thank you.
We are big fans of you guys, man. I gotta tell you, man, and especially with how you handle yourself, bro. Because I'm gonna keep it real. If Rapstar was in Donaire's shoes, man, I have an ego. I would be one of these other kind of boxers. Would that like to talk a little bit snappy? Because it ain't easy to be where you are. It hasn't been easy to be a Nonito Donaire or Rachel Donaire in this business of boxing, right?
No.
And I understand that. So I've got to give you guys a salute, because this industry, as we're learning as we go, you got to have thick skin to be at the best, to compete at the best, and to be in this business. So,
well, I'm very grateful for my experience. For me, I've always just been very grateful for my life, from where I was to where I'm at now. And this is why I can learn so much and be okay with every situation, knowing that, time is always going to fly, and I can't rewind any of that. And therefore I can only make myself better, and that's how I've always looked at life.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, I'm going to say this, bro. You're one of the nicest characters I've met as a boxer, like, as I've seen. Like, you don't really have no ego. You know, you can flash your Ferraris, you can wear the gold chains. Rachel can turn it up with a Louis Vuitton if she wants. We know that that's just not how you guys roll in the camera. That's just not how you guys are. That's not how you've been brought up. And it just feels like a lot of fighters and a lot of people, and you know, there's a lot of glamour. There is this celebrity life out there in boxing. And, you know, I think you guys kind of not chose to live your own personal life more, but it is probably just not how you guys are, maybe, you know?
I mean, we've lived life to be grateful for what we have, and
But I
we've
don't believe
learned.
you're always been like this, bro. I believe
Oh
when
no,
you
no,
were
no, not
younger,
me, not
I believe you had an ego when you were younger.
oh,
You must have
100%,
been
and I
one of these
still
flash
do.
guys. You're
You
not
know,
called Filipino Flash for nothing.
yeah, exactly, and I
And I
still
know
do.
Rachel must have known you were a flash guy when you were young.
Hey, don't listen to Punch Drunk though, man. You know, don't let the nice guy fool you, man. I don't listen to him, man. You know, he's trying to get ready for me. That's why you see him in all of the social media, him hitting the bag and running and all that stuff. He's trying to prepare for me. You know, that's what Punch is doing right now.
Yeah, he said, listen, let me tell everybody this, yeah? If you think Nonito's the nicest guy, there's a mean streak to this man. He can't be the nicest guy and be just this guy who stayed at elite level in boxing and not have a mean streak. I mean, yes, you're a nice guy, bro, but when you have to turn it off, you have to turn it off.
You got to, and that's part of the game. That's part of turning on the switch and on and off. You know, like when I'm with my kids, when I'm with my family, or compare when I'm in the gym. You know, it's a different story, and that's just it. And going back into your a previous question, I mean, for us, we are, you know, we are blessed, man, and we've had, the only reason we're the way we are is because we did experience, you know, the embarrassment or the guilt or whatever it may be, that we you know, we went to realize what's important is the people that I care about. You know, it's not about what I can show and what I can buy, what I can have. It's about what I can be to the people that I care about.
Yeah, for sure. But look, let's get back to the point, bro. Let's make this exclusive. When you were taking those punches in the second fight, I gotta tell you, man, I didn't expect that myself. And you didn't expect it. You felt like retiring. It didn't last long. We know that you were a little bit concussed. Now, something's inside of you now. You're over that. You came out of that. You're back. You're coming back. You know that wasn't your best. Now, something's still firing inside of you. And you want to be back and come to the top. Now, are you training now? Are you keeping yourself active? Are you in that mode?
I'm
What's going
always
on?
active. I'm always active. But I always go and have about 2.5 to 3 months of training camp. So I'm always active. I'm always training. I'm always getting myself in, you know, to sweat every day. It's a must for me, and it's a lifestyle for me to be training every day. You know, maybe not on Sunday, maybe sometimes on Saturday, but on the weekdays, I'm there training. I'm there sweating, and I'm there growing. You know, but you know, ultimately, when a fight is made and a training camp is opened up, then that's when I go all in.
So you're still keeping active, consistently training. You know that you got to stay in a certain way to keep competing at elite. You got something fire in the belly. Um, you want to become a world champion again. Obviously, that's the goal, right?
For me, it's, you know, it it's very difficult for me to regress back from ground zero, because it's just it hurts and it sucks, and I'm not about to do that, you know. And that's why I keep myself at least at a 50%, so that when I do go all in, I'm not hurt too much, and I'm there to, you know, to get back into it. Punch was saying something right here. Can you change the narrative for fighters at your age? You can't teach old dog new tricks. Do you think is real or a myth? You know, something that we've learned in science is neuroplasticity, right? Neuroplasticity is something that people can learn, not just in mind, but also in body. right? And so therefore we can go and create something for ourselves as long as we believe. That's the thing, is when we believe is the most powerful thing that we can be for ourselves. You know, people can say, oh, I'm old, this and this and that, but if I don't believe in that, I mean, this is why Hopkins was the way he was, you know. And that's the biggest thing that people don't understand, is that when you truly believe in the capability of your talent, of your skill, of who you are, and you go into a fight with certain confidence, you're a force to be reckoned with.
So, you know, I'm going to say this, right? Man to man. Nonito, you've done a lot in boxing, brother. You know, you've been in this game. You're a multiple world champion. You're going to be first ballot Hall of Famer, bro. The man like you, yeah, has been free. You've been the first man, if I'm not mistaken, you became a free, was it in bantamweight? You did something. You made history, wasn't it? You
Yeah.
did something. You did.
I'm
You
the
became
oldest to win
the
a
oldest
title.
champion, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Right, and then you also was a 3-time champion in one weight class.
I think so.
See, you think so, but I remember you were 3-time champion in one weight class. Not to mention, you know, that's a lot what you've done in the sport, bro. What keeps you going now? What I mean, you got no. Let's keep it real. You got a great wife, a solid, strong lady. You've got beautiful children. You've got everything most men would want right now, and I'm sure you've got smart business brain, because with Rachel around you, I know you got businesses.
100%, 100%, and
I'm
ultimately,
gonna
you
keep
know,
the fuck. Do you want to do this for anymore? Unless you still got something crazy about you.
I'm always crazy, man. I didn't become a
What is
fighter
it?
because I'm not crazy. I'm pretty crazy, but I do love the fact that when I have something to look forward to, having a purpose in creating becoming undisputed, you know, and creating 5 division world champion, in my mind, that's something that gets me up. That's something that gets me passionate. That's something that drives me, you know. And with you know, and I know that I won't be able to do this in it could be in a couple years, it could be 10 years, it could be whatever years it could be, right? All I know is what I can do right now. I wanna prolong it as long as I am capable of it, and it's my joy.
I understand. But brother, you gotta remember this. You were at peak at once. You were even the Ring magazine knockout of the year 2007, 2011. You reached the peak pound for pound rankings of number 3, and you also was Ring in something about named as the fighter of the year in 2012. This is going back 10 years. What have you achieved is so much. Like, people got to recognize this, that I got to put some respect on your name over here now. You know, I got to teach the young people that that's going to 2012 now. And look at 10 years later, you're still in the game and achieved so much again and came back and achieved again. Saying's got to be crazy about you, brother.
Well, I'm writing this book. I'm writing this book about my life story, and I'm naming this book Undisputed. But I'm only
Okay.
releasing it once I get that undisputed. At least that is my manifestation.
Okay. I mean, look, something's got to keep you ticking that way. I want to ask Rachel a straightforward question. Rachel, how do you feel about him still being in boxing after you saw and you've seen your husband achieve so much that he really can go into, you know, and live his life and enjoy it to the max?
Well, like I said, I think the fact that, you know, he won't say what happened behind and everything like that, and what everything that we worked on, all the game plan that had come together and just didn't get shown the night of that fight. Like, I know he has it. That's one of the things of boxing, is that you train for 12 weeks for everything to be perfectly aligned, you know, in those 45 minutes you're in the ring. So I'm not seeing the degradation in the boxing gym or in his work rate or his passion. But at the time that I feel like that is a factor, then that's when, I can step in and say, like, okay, we're done.
So you still believe in your man to the point that you know he has got way more to offer than what we saw in the last fight.
Oh
And
yeah, and I think like just doing any of these, trying to at least proposition any of these fighters to come to the ring is just proving to me that he's still a threat. You know what I
and let
mean?
and let's not mention you was in the combat sports world yourself. You've been at high level taekwondo combat sports yourself, so you have that mentality. You know what Nonito still can bring to the table, and maybe that's why you speak in a way which is not normal. Like normal, some wives would be like, "No, my husband, I want him to stop boxing now." Do you know what I mean? It's like they're different because they don't analyze it from the way that you understand it more.
Yes, I agree. Like I think, most women are either separated completely from camp or they just take no interest in it at all. So they really don't understand what it means and what kind of sacrifices and things that fighters go through because they haven't gone there themselves. That's one, and then two, they take no interest in even trying to be there and understand what it means.
Yeah. So at this point, though, I mean, you can only fight big fights, though. Even if it's not big fights, you can't be. You're going to be looking to fight somebody within the top 5 or top 10. If I'm not mistaken, if we're staying, we know that Nonito ain't going to be looking to take too much of a backward fight
Yeah.
at this point. So, it's going to be somebody along the lines. I know it's not Estrada, Chocolito, Bam Bam Rodriguez. What about, there's Rungvisai, there's guys like that. Are you looking to fight those guys at that weight class?
I mean, I'm only gonna fight somebody who has the belt. That will be my 5th division, and then go back to 118 and take over from there.
Right. So yeah. So look, at the end of the day, the fire's still in the belly, ladies and gentlemen. No, let's keep it real. Nonito Donaire ain't playing. He's still coming, and he wants to prove something still. Like we've just all agreed, we all understand that he's already proved more than most fighters would ever prove. So at this point, this is something firing personal for you. I mean, what else could it be? What are you trying to achieve now, brother?
I mean, again, for me, getting up in the morning, in something that when I don't have any path to choose, with me right now, my
You
path
need
is
this in your life right now still.
right now. I do truly believe that this is something I want to do. This is something that will allow me to be passionate about life, to live life, and at the same time to be able to do what I love doing. And aside from that, when the next one come, and if it's not good enough in her eyes in training camp or in the fight, then it's done. She has I gave her the voice to decide my fate in boxing, because in that last fight, that's what I given her in order for me to get back in here. That was my compromise, and and she's gonna be honest about it, and that's pretty much where I'm at when it comes down to it. But one thing that I know for sure is when I'm waking up in the morning thinking that I have a fight in 2 months or 3 months, I'm living, I'm alive, and that's why it's very difficult for a lot of fighters to step away from the boxing world.
Now let me explain that to some people if they think you're crazy. This is when a man needs motivation in his life. Nonito Donaire is still peak at elite level in boxing. So at this point, he's still so motivated that this is what inspires him. So in his mind, what he's thinking from what you're explaining to me is this is what wakes you up in the morning at the moment. Not because let's be honest, I don't think you're short of any money, or I think you've done very well for yourselves, haven't you guys?
Yes.
You don't do boxing for money, or do you still?
No. And one thing that for me, this is just my joy, my passion. One thing that the wife has done tremendous amount to create, which created our future. Not just what I've done in boxing, but what she's done along the line of what I've created. She's creating something even more grand than I've ever given her.
And that's amazing to know that you guys are business-minded people as well. We especially
I'm
know
not.
Rachel
She
is.
is.
I already know Rachel is because we've spoke to Rachel on the channel and many times. So we know where Rachel's coming from. And she has many other things, or well, we're not many, but she's obviously shown that, or she told us that she's doing a few things. But what I'm saying is here, right now, it's not the money. It's self-motivation. It's more for yourself to be at this sport. It's your own motivation because you got the money. If at the end of the day you stop now, you've done well for yourself. It's not like you haven't got what you need in life. You're doing this for self motivation, for self spirit, and the fire in your belly. And that's just the way that you are. This is what keeps you still wanting to be at the elite level. And this is what keeps you feeling very motivated. I can only admire that because once it's finished, you're not going to look back.
Exactly. And you can't look back. And that's why I said, no matter what you experience in life, when time is already taken it, you can't take it back. Whether it's a loss, whether it's a broken deal, or whatever it may be, when time has taken it and devoured it, you cannot take it back. And when I know that I'm still capable of being the best out there in my division, and I will not take that for granted. And when it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go, and that's just how I'm living my life.
Yeah, I understand. And I got to be honest with you. You are a motivation for people like us because I don't want to bring you to our category and I don't want people to know too much, but I've hit my early 40s. And it's nice to know you guys are still at the elite level because it motivates us, right? Because you ain't no spring chicken, bruv.
It becomes a choice, brother. It becomes a choice. When it comes down to it, whatever you try or deem yourself or seek yourself to become, it becomes a choice. And you just got to make that choice to get up in the morning or to do this or to do that, but unfortunately, a lot of people are not willing to make that choice. You just got to have to make that choice to get what you want. We have that power to seek and it shall be found, knock and it shall be open. It's always been given to us. We just have to create that for ourselves.
But I understand your competitive mindset, yeah, bro. But you in a sport where they're punching your head and you're punching theirs. You've been at the elite level, you've seen the game, and you know what it's a tough sport. It's one of the most toughest sport they say in the world. To be a boxer, they say it's the most hardest working sport that even athletes, I've spoken to many athletes around the world, and they say, when it comes to boxing, man, my hat comes off to these guys. And it's always been respected that way. If the money's not the motivation, and what the fuck is, sorry my language, but there's got to be something like a Mike Tyson in you or something in your spirit that just doesn't, you know what I mean? This is not an easy sport you're in. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve to go out there and be a world champion and still keep doing what you've done. There's got to be something about you that's still got that killer spirit, killer instinct.
It's just being grateful for my time, being grateful for the opportunity to still do this, something that I'm passionate about, because I know when time comes, I won't be able to do it. And people always take that for granted. Time that we have, they take that for granted. And I believe that I have the opportunity to do it. Why not take it?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I wish you the best. And I'm hoping to see you in your greatest spirits, and I'm hoping to see you come back and do what makes you, the happiest man for what you're doing. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a tough road because you're going to be fighting now. Again, you're looking at the top. And I gotta say it to you, you don't want no one else. So hey, it's gonna be exciting times, and I hope we see and Rachel gets the fight that everybody wants to see, you know?
I
So
appreciate that, man. I appreciate you, Rapsa. Thank you for having us here. And everybody out there, thank you. And Joker, man, nothing wrong with wanting to make more money, man, because money gives people the power, if endless possibilities. 100%. You know, there's a possibility of making life a lot easier to your choice. One thing that people will start to understand is when they seek money, it's really the what would you say?
It's the material wealth and more than it is the wealth of time.
So what
You're
she's
chasing
trying to
the wrong
say,
thing.
so now when you start, you will chase power, you will chase money, you will chase all of that, but ultimately we chase to have the freedom to choose our path, to have the time of whatever we want, and that's the power that people will understand with the moment that they get to the top.
yeah, man, for sure, bro. But look, I'm excited for you guys, man. And you know, we hope to hear some good news coming soon. But it looks like you're just gonna enjoy your Christmas. Sit
Yes,
back,
sir. Yes, sir. You know, I
sit
appreciate you
back.
guys again, man. You have
Yeah.
to. You have to. And again, everybody out here, thank you. Punch. If you're still here, Kendall, Joker, everybody, thank you guys.
Man, look, let me just say this, man. It's been appreciative for having you over here, especially with our sister Rachel as well. You know, the most knowledgeable people in boxing. We learn a lot from Rachel, the inside and how straightforward she is and how she don't hold back and speaks to us like a friend, and not that she's a bit more superior because she's in boxing. We also appreciate that down to earth, and we, you know, we appreciate you guys. I want you guys to recognize we appreciate you, and like I said, man, Nonito, I'm with you, bro. Even though I feel that at the end of the last fight, we already agree what I saw you, and you know, you agree with me. I'm with you, man. I'm hoping the best for you, and you know, hopefully, you know, when you retire, there might be some big exhibition fights for Nonito Donaire.
No, no exhibition for me, man.
Hey, exhibitions with Nonito in the
Nada for
future.
me, brother. Nada. Unless I'm doing it for a good cause, then I will do it for a good cause.
No, I understand. I get you, man. And when we catch up with you next, you know, I hope to see you soon again. Don't be a stranger to the channel, bro. I hope to catch you
Definitely,
soon
brother.
again,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you.
And Rachel, I want to catch you soon because we got some lives coming up, and I want to get your opinions. So I hope to catch you soon again, my sister.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, listen, everybody. Thanks for everybody coming through. We had the Donaires, Rachel, Nonito. Hey, we appreciate you guys. Hey,
Thank
man.
you so much, Rob.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And hey, everybody, smash that like button. We had an exclusive today. And thanks for everybody coming through to Rap Star Boxing Knowledge. Was Deontay Wilder's fight a fix? Think about that. Till the next time. Peace.